hurts the tongue, yeah, burn. Show tune in right now. Like and share, our city needs that vow. Flint City News got truth to share. When we fight the darkness, we repair. Won't give up, we're standing tall and proud. Voices rising strong, no longer shrouded. Residents deserve what's right and fair. Together we can lift the despair. We fight, we win, we break the chains. Tanya Burns won't stand out in the rain. Our city dreams will make them true. With every step it all renews. In a step it all renews.
Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Producer Jay.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
You sound a little extra happier today. What's up with that? I'm just saying, you sound a little happier. You was kidnapped yesterday. Oh, anyways, I'm not gonna
All the way kidnapped.
Oh, you was all the way kidnapped. Well, I don't get in your business what all the way kidnapped means, but if it works for you, I'm happy. I'm happy. You weren't answering no calls. You was like, look, I'm busy. I'm busy. Listen, wherever you are from, please drop it in the chat. And thank you. Good morning, Denise. Thank y'all for joining us this morning. Elaine Campbell, good morning from Dallas, Texas. Listen, y'all. Producer Jay.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, Avis. Hi, because listen, so you all right. I ain't gotta send nobody to check on you. Good morning, Melissa.
Yeah, I survived the hostage attempt.
It ain't like surviving R. Kelly, is it? You survived. Well, I'm glad you were on here this morning. I was getting a little worried about you for a minute, though. I ain't used to that. Because you always answer. Listen, wherever you are from, please click like, share. Thank you for joining us this morning. I appreciate you giving us your time. I truly, truly do. Listen, good morning, Martha. Listen, y'all. I found one of my little church fans. Listen, I don't know if y'all have seen that little girl who be on TV. What? I got to. Where them fans at? Listen, y'all. I think I'm ready. This little girl all over TikTok, over there doing her dance, and she's getting some mixed reviews. Her and her mom. But look, she not do that fan. I'm like, go on, little girl. Quit tooting your little booty up in the air. That part is not cute. But she got the grown up dance down. There needs to be a kid version of it. Hey, good morning, Keith, and happy anniversary. Keith Downey is in Houston, Kashmir. He's in Texas. I want to tell him and his wife, I believe, a happy anniversary. It was 30 something years, I believe, but happy anniversary, Keith. Relationships and anniversaries are meant to be celebrated. They are. So wishing you and your wife. That was a beautiful picture of you and her. You were on the plane with the wheels up. So congratulations. Congratulations. So look, I ain't going. Patrick G, to my moderators, Sheena Beckton and Patrick G, good morning. Good morning. Thank y'all for doing what I can't do. And look, y'all, we don't address the trolls in here. We just make sure we, identify them, kick them out. We give them no energy. None. So good morning, Drelina, Janelle. I ain't going. Miss J, Reverend Patrick Powell. Did I say Janelle McFadden from Cali? Look, California now got it went from fire to rainstorms and floods. Good morning for Pennsylvania for Reverend Powell. See, I can't keep up with all this. So y'all know what I say. If Angela Lynette from the DMV, Debbie Clark, Diane Thornton, Angela Lynette, Jarvis Patrick, I'm doing good now, y'all. Listen, click, like, share. Once you just click that like button so we can push the algorithm out. We're going to get into a lot. Y'all, I have went on a hiatus from watching news. I am a news junkie. Miss J, good morning. I quit watching news because the news became too much. It became way, way too much. So I am not watching the news. And y'all, it's too much. I mean, one thing we can give the Republicans is that they are going to give us a show. They are. So that is going to happen. So click, like, share, and we are going to get started. I don't think, Producer Jay, we haven't been on since the Super Bowl. We weren't. No, we haven't been on. We didn't do no midnight, late night chit chat. I don't think we've done any of that.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
When was the Super Bowl? Last Sunday?
Yeah, I don't think
Sunday
we
before.
No, I think it was last Sunday. I believe. Listen, it was that game. Look, the Chiefs didn't score to the fourth quarter. I think they forgot that they was playing a game and was in the Super Bowl. So they didn't do anything to the fourth quarter. I don't think they had a first down. So the Republicans are dead set on taking the country back to 1950. Yeah, Angela, I kind of think back to before there was the Emancipation Proclamation, we were still slaves and Jim Crow. So I'm going to take it back to 1802 because that's where they come from. Thank you, Patrick Jean. We appreciate you all. Click, like, share, subscribe. And then if you're feeling look, he got the Zelle up there, y'all. So if you want to donate to the show, the scroll at the bottom in red has, as people said, have more than the Cash App, which is $ Cash App. Cash App $ Producer J1987. And then you got the Zelle email. So you want it more than one, it's there. It is there. So listen, we're going to get started. So the Super Bowl halftime. I don't care. People tell me, oh, we don't like it. And, it's worse whenever. They should have had, what's the one? Lil Wayne. Should have had Little Wayne. I ain't never been a Little Wayne fan. I'm going to be honest with you. I just have not. I remember one day I came into my office. My daughter and her friend had decorated my office with Little Wayne stuff. And they put it up literally everywhere. And I have never been a Little Wayne fan. So people were saying it was so symbolic. What did what did it mean? And so I posted up on here and I posted, what the symbolic, what did it mean? This Super Bowl halftime, everybody was fully dressed. Nothing was exposed. Nothing. Wasn't no booty shaking because oh my God, it's too sexual. Wasn't none of that. I mean, it was, Drake did get dissed live. And it is actually the most watched Super Bowl show ever. He surpassed Michael Jackson, MJ, the king of pop. He surpassed him. So what was some of the symbolism? Because a lot of people are still trying to figure out what was it? So the symbolism that and I can't read, y'all. I have to pull it up on my I have to pull it up in another, because when you get old, you get old eyes. So, because if y'all can't read it, I know I ain't gonna be able to. It is on it is on my page on Facebook. So it says the halftime show was more than entertainment. It was a powerful statement with hidden messages, and everything was hidden. I mean, to me, think how his mind worked. He had the A minor, he got the lowercase a, he had the lowercase, and that's A in sign language, y'all. He had the lowercase a necklace on. He had the flag where remember it split. It showed we are a country that's split. He had. I'm gonna read these because people was like, well, what was the what was the symbolism? Some people ask, what is symbolism? And so there were a lot of things about that. So Samuel Jackson playing the house slave role, just like Django Unchained. 2, a warning to Kendrick. Jackson telling him to play the game with white America. 3, Squid Game stage, symbolizing the rich exploiting the poor. 4, red, white, and blue dancers representing the American flag. Notice what's missing. 5, prison yard stage, a reminder of mass incarceration as Black performers harmonize. 5, protecting Black women, a nod to Serena Williams after Drake's disrespect. Karma never misses. 7, they not like us. They not like us. A message to Drake about they not like us. A message to Drake in America. Our culture is real. And our culture is real because they're always trying to bite off of it, steal it, claim it, make it theirs. 8, a call to action. The world is in crisis. And if y'all into the cut on whatever channel or whatever, and I seen this new little family, the Cartier family. I'm like, what in the who Black child sons are these? Anyways, number 8, call to action. The world is in crisis. Turn off the TV, organize, and unite. 9, game over in the audience. A bold statement demanding change. And then he had it in the little game controller. Super Bowl gives you $15 million to do your Super Bowl. Kendrick Lamar went over that. I mean, that's the budget for it. He went over that. People are still talking. I think I sent you some stats on what his on what it was for his Super Bowl. And y'all, if I sound a little cloggy, it's because I am. And so we look at what he did. I think it was phenomenal. I don't know if it'll be able to come up. It's right before, so I'm gonna read it. Did it show up for you? Did it show up for you, Producer Jax? I know sometimes my stuff won't show up. So it says, no one turned the TV off. They all watched it. Now some had to go back to figure out what it was he was trying to say. Kendrick Lamar's halftime show broke records last Sunday and became the most watched one in history. The 2025 Super Bowl was the most watched halftime in history. The game in which the Philadelphia Eagles beat the Kansas City Chiefs drew an estimated 126 million viewers. But it was King Kenny who stole the show. Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime show had 133.5 million viewers, drawing a larger audience than the Super Bowl itself, beating Michael Jackson's record of 133.4 million in 1993. So salute to you, Kendrick Lamar. You did your thing. You did. He did his thing. I was seeing what his teacher didn't know that how popular he was watching this interview. And he said, he was a kid that stuttered, he said, and I would give him words, to expound on. And he said he would do that. And so you never know who's a little genius, growing up. So y'all tell the bullies to go and move on down the road, okay? Because this young man was not a popular man in school. He had some, what they consider to be some issues. He stuttered, but look at in his mind, how it works. Good morning, Christine Leach. And so when we look at that to me is powerful. You never know who might be the next superstar. And this man just broke Michael Jackson's record that was set in 1993. So kudos to him. I loved the halftime. I absolutely did. And it was very thought-provoking because we are still talking about it today. Still talking about it. And that's what you want. Good morning, Carl. Sheena B says he's a Pulitzer Prize winner. Of course he's a genius. Absolutely. When was it 5 Grammys he just won? Because we need to have Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne stuff don't hit like that. It's just not for me, But Kendrick Lamar is a lyricist. He takes words and create something so new, and that I like. That I really like. Good morning, Daryl. What you doing over here, y'all? Daryl Robertson is the Flint cook, chef. He lends his hand to some of everything. He is the cook extraordinaire over at, he actually goes everywhere, but he goes to House of Prayer Church. And so wherever you are, I appreciate y'all from joining us. Angela, I leave that up. I'm gonna talk about that public notice. Angela, Lil Wayne mumbles. He's also the same person who said he will beat it up like Emmett Till. His does not need to perform during Black History Month. Thank you, Angela. Listen, Super Bowl. I love to see us, and we have to start embracing who we are. We do embrace who you are. Because I'm gonna tell you something. You got some of these people here who don't care. They're going to embrace their culture, their religion in your face, and that is what's happening. Good JWC. No, let me make that holy punch. Him and Zach do make the holy punch. The holy punch is good, y'all. I'm just gonna say that the holy punch is good. It's good. And Daryl is a grill master. And y'all, he don't have barbecue sandals. He got barbecue Crocs. So he's a trendsetter. Listen, special city councilman, and good morning, Councilwoman Jerry Winfrey Carter. Look, let me do this. Our senior most councilwoman, Jerry Winfrey Carter, is in the house. Look, y'all can get sick of me with the fan. Listen, she's in the house. Somebody gonna be and took my fan, and Stephanie Ryder's gonna tell us, I hope don't nobody ever get you a fan. Girl, I went and got one of my little church fans. Where them fans at? Listen, Councilwoman Jerry Winfrey Carter, and this was her idea. We were figuring out because we have been working on Hasselbrink. Y'all, we work in our sleep. So there is a meeting on Monday asking for the public support. It is a special meeting. It has been called. It will be at 5:00 p.m. February 17th in the City Council chambers. Asking y'all to click, like, share. Good morning, Sherry Allen. Good morning. Need y'all to click, like, share, and then to be there. We need y'all support. We need people to start showing up like Thornton and Dalton, because you can't give up. Look at Tiffany over there, and we have a Tiffany Henyard here. In case y'all didn't notice, we have Tiffany Henyard here. We have got him, but his name is Mayor Neely. So, we can't complain about not liking what we're getting and not doing nothing about it. You have to either get involved or get left behind. Listen, they renamed the whole Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of America. You look at all the stuff that these people are doing, and it is not by coincidence at all. So you got to get involved or get left behind. So there will be a meeting this Monday at 5:00 One of the things that we will be, said, be there, be square. You know what? Maybe I'll pass out some donuts again. That's, my little donut hostess thing, me serving the public seemed to clearly irritate them. So maybe I'll bring some donuts again. Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I will do that. So Producer Jay, I do want to say, I should have got a highlighter, y'all. Can we put up Bethel Church, please? Bethel Church did pass. Actually, don't put up Bethel Church. Can you put up the flyer? It's real colorful with the flyer, because we're going to put it back at the end, because some people may drop there. Thank you. So, special council meeting. Whoop, whoop. Calling all seniors Monday, February 17th. Hassel Brinks lease. Let's fill the room. Meals will be served immediately after at the Hassel Brinks Center. So look, we're going to have some chicken wings and things. So look, show up, to the meeting. And after the meeting, we're going to serve you a little something. Meeting will not last long, but show up so we can have the discussion. If they don't all show up, we can still discuss. We just can't take action. But see if they show up. We got to start holding our elected officials accountable. So this Monday, February 17th, 5 p.m., Flint City Council, or right after the meeting, will not last long. Meet at Hassel Brinks Center so we can fellowship, so we can talk, so we can fellowship with each other. So be there or be square. And look, y'all, click like, share. Go on Facebook, share that for me. Share that. And that needs to be shared in every place where we have like a lot of where a councilman makes this was his award. We would not be going through this if he was here. We would not have someone sitting in that first ward seat saying, we're going to be under new management. Everybody didn't like who the person was. He don't speak up for Hassel Brinks, not publicly. I've missed it. And then he get on in, he be like, yeah, Leon, you be lying, Leon, you be lying. My colleagues said, no, stop. You're lying. You put that motion on the table. You did it. You did it. You did it. So Monday, 5 o'clock, he should be leading this charge. We should be supporting him for the first ward. This is his thing in the first ward, and it ain't even him putting it out there. He ready to lay down and get walked all over. Completely. Ain't stood up and said, I'm a fight, because he would be the fifth vote. How in the world is the first ward councilman not being in the 5 votes to say where he lied and said, Miss Bev ain't going nowhere. Miss Bev and him ain't going nowhere. He told that lie. Now he said, oh, I was going to give him my ward money. Stop the lie, Leon, because you knew that there were some things that were concerning about that. Some small things. And we're going to get into that later. They didn't say they had a problem with the $500, but they could have got it for $1. Yes, the $2,500 each occurrence with the building was built in the 1980s. That was an issue. So if the furnace, the foundation, they got 3 furnaces all break down at the same time, that's $7,500 deductible that they got to pay to the city of Flint. So or whatever it is. So when we talk about that, he don't be telling the truth. He's a liar, and he don't mind lying. Just like he didn't mind letting Candace take over his vote. She took over his vote. Oh, I was trying to get your attention. No, you wasn't. You just told another lie. Davina stated she did not hear him. He did not try to get her attention. It's like either believe your lying eyes or believe my lying mouth. But he be lying. I was trying to get your attention. No, you wasn't. I was looking right at you. And guess what? Your microphone works. Your microphone works. Press that button. Your microphone works. He never hit his microphone and told that lie. Why is he not leading this charge? Why? Why? You're supposed to be for the people. It's the executive branch and the legislative branch. Leon don't know which side he on. No, he do. My bad. He on the executive branch. He ain't working for the people. He working for the mayor. He's working for the mayor. And he don't have enough gusto to speak his own mind and tell the truth. I tried to get Davina. Stop it. Everybody video show that is a lie. Mark Curtis and Leon could literally write the least. He is the fifth vote. He won't because he is a bought politician, legally bought with grant money. Leon is politically okay. Y'all can read the rest because you know they screen through my stuff. So you know they do. Angela Nat, the court should give it to Bev. The charter's being violated and he's up there playing games with votes like a team. What they say, stupid games get stupid tricks. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now sit there and lie. Look, you never got it. And listen, y'all, you don't have discussion after a vote. When do you see we stop in the middle after we have all voted and have discussion? You can't. It's in the rules. You can't. It's in the rules. Hey, Kathleen King, Plug House Tina is confused, independent thinker. Okay, Plug House is confused. Okay, listen, we know he ain't for the people. No, he ain't. So listen, I don't understand that. I don't understand how do you not advocate for what's in your ward? I don't understand that, because then you're not for your ward. That means you for a vote to do what other people want you to do and to say. But he lied when he said he tried to get Davina's attention. That is a blatant lie. The video shows it. Lie. My colleagues put something. No, you put that on the table. You put that on the table. I'm not gonna keep letting you let me sit up here and lie on me. Because you call me, like I'm gonna call you a lot. You come after me, I'm gonna come right back at you. I'm not good at being run over. I'm sorry. And I'm too old to let folks bully me around. Not happening. Not happening. He did not get Davina's attention. He did not attempt to. He did not try. And Davina stated it on the record. She did. And the video. Not only the real eyewitness accounts, y'all, the video. The video. So he got caught. I tried to get her attention. No, you're lying. You did not. You did not do that. You let Candace just come after you, and that whole thing, it was just a mess. It was a mess. So and maybe we may have to switch this up, Producer Jay. While we on this with Hasselbring, let's go to the Hasselbring portion of it. I'm sorry, the vote part. And I need to probably all y'all click so I can get this out. So, can we pull up the part where he voted, please? We gonna watch it together, y'all. And y'all tell me what you think.
Ms. Mashat.
Carrie Nelson.
Mr. Pfeiffer.
Dumas.
Mr. Jarrett. Mr. Al-Alamin.
Ms. Biggs.
Ms. Lewis.
Carrie Nelson.
Ms. Priestley. Carrie Nelson. Ms. Winfrey Carter.
Biggs Levy.
Ms. Burns.
Biggs Levy.
Madam Chair.
That's 3 votes for Mr. Nelson.
Madam
1
Chair,
for
I'm
Ms.
going to change my vote to Ms. Biggs Levy.
That's 3 votes.
She's up.
He wanted the floor.
A point of order. She's starting to call the vote. You cannot stop at that point.
Mr. Alamin wanted the floor.
Point of order. Point of order. She is actually roll calling the vote. You can't stop it at that point.
Madam
You
Chair,
cannot.
Mr. Alamin wanted the floor.
He did not, point of order, he did not request the floor. He didn't request the floor.
Madam Chair,
She
you
had
weren't-
already started.
Madam Clerk,
She did
you
not
weren't looking
request-
to-
He didn't ask for the floor.
He did not request.
He did not request the floor. He did not.
I did not hear Mr. Al-Alamin.
Mr. Alamin, did you want the floor?
That's not
But-
a point
Did
of order.
not call for the floor.
That's not how it goes.
Madam Chair, he should have the same opportunity that Mr. Pfeiffer had. The fact that you didn't hear him or catch him is not fair to him.
Point of
Mr.
order. I was
Mr.
looking
Pfeiffer?
right at him, and she's sitting right next to him. He didn't ask for the floor.
Mr.
He
Pfeiffer,
did not.
Mr. Pfeiffer, please. Mr. Pfeiffer asked to change his vote before I started.
And he was
Announcing the
trying
roll
to
call.
get your attention to change
Yes,
his.
no. I was looking right at him. He was not.
I did
Mr.
not-
Alameen,
No. Asked for the floor, and he didn't. He did not.
Madam Clerk, finish the roll call.
we were trying to get your attention.
Who is we?
But he-
I literally was doing this.
No.
Mr. Pfeiffer.
I don't have to lie. You can look back at the video. I was literally doing this.
Mr. Pfeiffer spoke out.
Right, and then he was trying to, and that's why I was pointing at him and you did not look up.
Point of order.
he didn't say anything.
That is a lie. That is a lie, and neither
No.
was he
No,
gesturing.
that's a lie.
Let's finish
Madam
the roll
Clerk,
call.
Madam Clerk.
Finish the roll call.
Madam Clerk, finish the roll call.
Madam Chair, finish the roll call.
Finish counting your votes. Finish saying what you're gonna say, Madam
He never even looked
He
at
never
the
even
clerk.
looked. We were looking. That is a blatant
Never
lie.
even looked at the clerk.
Neither was she gesturing him. That is another blatant lie. No. And she sits right next to him. No. You start the roll call. You cannot interrupt. You're calling what the votes were. Madam Clerk, you were doing the roll call. Madam Clerk, you were doing the roll call. He didn't even look. He didn't say nothing. He didn't gesture. You have a job, Madam Clerk, to finish the roll call. Please finish the roll call, Madam Clerk. Okay, Producer Jay, we can stop right there. Madam Chair, they really... Okay, in the comments, people are saying he didn't look up, he still didn't say nothing, and I can't go back to the comments. He said nothing. No, he's asking for the floor. No, Candace, you lied. You are a liar. You lied too. He lied and you lied. He didn't ask for the floor. He still never pressed his mic to ask for the floor during all of that. He never did. Why? Because he did his vote. And then I was just pointing at, no, you lying too. You still lying. I mean, y'all saw that. All of that. TMB said, and Liam still quiet. Yes, quiet. And y'all look, how do you get, you press the button. You press the button to your mic. Testing, 1, 2, 3. He didn't have nothing to say. Nothing. She got the floor. She can't get the floor for him. You can't do that. You can't do that. That I mean, just completely. And you know who you didn't hear say anything? Liddell. Because Liddell knew they had messed up. Liddell knew they messed up. She knew it. He didn't say anything during that whole time. Candace spoke. Councilwoman Carter spoke. Councilman Pfeiffer was speaking. I was speaking. Candace was speaking. And who you didn't hear speaking? Leon. Didn't hear Leon at all. At all. So, at all. Listen, y'all, you can't make this stuff up. You can't. And it's serious consequences to this because our community is hurting. It's hurting. We look at the things and we look at who's being divisive. Number one person being divisive in the city of Flint is Mayor Neely. We have got those 72 roofs that will be going on. Let me tell you about how that program came about. Councilman Jonathan Jarrett had called me. This was Jonathan make it the initiative. I won't give credit where credit was where it goes. Jonathan had called me and said, hey, we have got $850,000 that's coming back. Thank you, Sherry. We appreciate you. Thank you. Hey, Merck 76. He said we got $850,000 that is coming back from one of the nonprofits who didn't have a person who could handle the who could do the roof program. They lacked the staff. They didn't have the staff. So the money came back to the city. Councilman Jarrett checked on that. He went to Emily. He went to Emily Dorr, who Emily has now packed her bags, taken herself on a trip. She's with us no more. Emily got real hip. So she gone now. He went to her. And y'all don't judge me. I ain't no Kendrick Lamar. And so he went to her. He said, Tanya, what do you think? What do you think about using this program? Or if we could do it in-house? Emily said, he went to her. I went to her and talked to her. And she said, yeah, we can do it. I've got the staffing. I have the capacity, but staffing to do it. That's how that program came on. That's how now you see them sitting in the mayor's office, Judy Priestley, they calling people, hey, you got a roof, hey. Meanwhile, we're waiting to get the list of who all the people are in our ward. I haven't gotten it. I've emailed them. I've emailed the clerk. Haven't gotten it yet. And some other stuff. Matter of fact, this week I got a list of things that have not been done that I need to have done. And so he hasn't gotten his, still hasn't. He did get he did call down and talk to some folks, but he still ain't got his list. And so these are the games that this mayor and his administration plays. He's the biggest problem. He's the biggest problem why we keep losing talent, people who know how to do their job. He is the problem. The mayor is divisive and rude and condescending and a liar. And I don't have anything nice to say. Not today. I don't. Because he's not trying to bring this community together, knowing when he took office where we were at. 5 years in, 6 years in, and he has further divided this community. He cannot keep staffing. It was embarrassing to see you have Phil Schultz picture up in the news. He's messing with the Hurley board people. I mean, everything he got his hands in, it turns to poopy doop. It does. Everything his hand is in. And it's just what it is. He showed up at my meeting telling his secretary that, telling people to call his secretary if they needed something done. That's out of order, Neely. You know that. That's out of order. I'm the council person. They're supposed to call me. He gets up there and says, oh, they never vote together. Watch the vote. All 8 of them didn't stand together. It was 5-8 and something. Just lying. It was just a lie. When it came down to Ashley Capital for their second building, we were 8-0. We weren't beforehand. There was a whole lot of work had to be done and meetings had to be done behind the scene. I shared that with y'all. I don't know how many times I met with Mike Quimby, and we all met to make sure. And look, no money, Tanya Burns saying, I didn't even let him buy me coffee. Go back to the what's the name, and where, I talked about it. My thing is when you have a responsibility as the mayor, it is for the betterment of your community and to bring your community together. John Almafed, how would the Flint mayor know? And he's never at any council meeting. No, he got his people. Thank you, Patrick Jean. He has his people telling everybody what to do. I mean, this is a career thing for him. It's not about the people. I mean, he comes to be very divisive and literally lies. He was a lion at my ward meeting where fire inspector 1 and 2 showed up, and I don't think that they know a lot of the information. It's not correct that they're around here they fire safe. It's just not true. It's just not true. And I have told y'all, I have done fire for over 30 years in design fire systems, and have. They don't even understand certain things. And not because it was, me being married to the fire marshal makes me an expert, but no, I helped him study, okay? A lot. And he was the fire marshal of Saginaw. And so he did not have that job when we were married. Thank you, Reese Stewart. Thank you. We appreciate you. And Patrick Jr. appreciate you too. Thank you, everyone. And so when we look at these things, you learn stuff. And my kids were the stop, drop, and roll with the little smokehouse their entire life of, Chile are probably like, the ones are 5 years apart until the youngest one was probably 12. And the other one, she was then 17. But my kids were that's what they did. And they went to all the different places. And then when you helping someone, you learn stuff. I designed fire safety. He knew fire safety. I know more about fire safety than I want to know. I knew that you could, if you listen, if you don't want to track a fire, burn potato chips. It doesn't tell you what the cause is. I know more about fire stuff than I want to know. So I do want to say, when we look at this mayor, the divisiveness that he has, that's not what this city needs. The city needs someone to bring us together, someone who has the common goal of the people. He doesn't have that. A councilperson called him, and he was condescending, disrespectful, and he puts you on different sides. And some of the people fall for his garbage. How is a mayor putting you on a different side? Oh, no, don't deal with her. Oh, no, don't deal with him. No, don't deal with him. He calling people relatives, telling them stuff. Look, I got some relatives I need him to call. He won't ever call back again. Never, ever. He divides this council. Everybody was running when Leon was on there lying, and Candace was lying too. Thomas, he tried to get his attention. No, y'all saw the video. That is a lie. Y'all know he was calling them, tell them to fix that. Now I'm gonna get this to him. Candace caught that ball. She was the quarterback, and she did what she had to do because she was running that ball back. She did what she had to do. I will give her that, but it was for the wrong reasons. And so when we look at how they maneuver, you look at how when things come into the city, we have an executive branch and a legislative branch. There's a co-equal powers to where it creates a balance. The city council holds the purse strings to the city. So when you see him, we have to vote. We're supposed to vote to pass stuff. And when we vote, that's not just his thing. So anything comes into the city, and here's another problem. Our acting council president and acting vice president is supposed to keep the council together. They have no interest in keeping the council together. They have no interest. That is the role of the president of the council and the vice president, to keep the council together. Their job, they seem to think, is for the mayor, keep the mayor's lies going. They don't challenge him, not at all. They don't. They don't go in and say, well, this is what we need as the council. No, they don't. All you hear them say is, oh, the council is, oh, this person that, and then you hear them complain about, they come in already with how they're voting. We are actually going through our stuff debating. We don't get it till we often get there. He keeps this council divided. Biggest problem for this city being divided is this mayor. He likes to divide and conquer. And he has 5 or 4 people on there now who's allowing him with this ill agenda, this sick agenda that he has. And this is what he's doing.
A call to go to the mayor's office.
Got the call to go to the mayor's office. Yeah. So, as we try to find out, he's down there calling everybody. Well, he called the 4 he likes. He just breaks the rules. Neely is bad for Flint. He's just bad for Flint. He didn't finish the service lines. The state took over the service lines because he didn't complete them. So the state of Michigan took them over. I did, and I meant to put that up. It's supposed to be a 98% complete now for the service lines. 98% complete. The state has taken them over, and then there's supposed to be restoration that's coming. Restoration means that they're going to repair the sidewalks, the yards. They're like 6-7 years later, y'all. They haven't finished that stuff. The cuts in the street, so they're supposed to be doing that. So when you want change in Flint, the mayor is supposed to take responsibility. For example, Mayor Dugan, the young lady that her child passed away. I don't know. Can we pull up that article or can we play it? This was a mom she had, and I guess there was more people sleeping in that car, but she passed away. And that she didn't pass away. Two of her children, I believe a 2-year-old and a 9-year-old. She was sleeping in the car in a casino parking ramp. And she had been sleeping in the car for over 3 months, her and her kids. She woke up one day, I believe it was the beginning of this week or last week, within the last week. And 2 of the children had passed away. 2 of the children had passed away, the 2-year-old and the 9-year-old. The father had something to say that, well, that ain't true. And so I did some investigating and, and then people had their comments. So she knew that's not true. I mean, I want to say mental health is very serious, and we cannot state that it's not. Mental health is something that's serious. And so when we look at mental health and what it does and how important it is, we cannot deny that when people need help, we need to pay attention. How could that father know? He had to know she didn't have no place to stay. How did you know she didn't have no place to stay for 3 months? And you claim and you love them kids. Get out of here with that. I mean, stop the nonsense. What kind of father knows that the mother, she didn't get no help? Well, that's not true. I will give it to Mayor Duggan because he got ahead of the story. Unfortunately, those 2 children did pass away. And so during the night that her minivan ran out of gas, she had asked for help. She did ask for help. Duggan got on and did a press. He said, hey, she did ask for help. Our homeless program, something went wrong. And no one reached back out to her to make sure she was getting what she needed. Did she follow back up? No. But I don't think people get, when you feel hopeless, a part of you just die inside. And you don't know what to do. Sometimes you get in the hole so deep, you cannot be pulled out of. And so when we sit up and say, and to judge her, when they say, you don't want to walk in another person's shoes, we haven't walked in her shoes. But if you're sleeping in your vehicle with your 4 children, there's so many issues there that the system is supposed to be able to help you. The system is supposed to be able there to help you. And the system being number one, all these nonprofits, she should have had housing. She should have had therapy. She should have had get into where she can get a Section 8 so she can get, some housing for that family. The system failed her. And you get some people, they so busy while they at work, they on TikTok, social media, they don't want to do their jobs. And you got some people think, oh, well, she's a Black woman with kids. She should be having all of them kids. Well, you know what? She got them. We're not at that point. And so all these pro-life people, y'all don't want nobody. Where y'all at? Where y'all at to help take care of these kids? Pro-life Republicans, where y'all at? When you want these children to be born and you pro-life, where's those services at? Some of this got to make sense. My heart goes out to the fam. Producer Jade, can you play the video?
I just looked through it's not in there.
It's not in there. So I mean, when I thought I had sent it to you. When I watched that, and I almost started not to put the post on my page. Normally I will like do a caption on it. And I was like, you know what? What you can pray for her, pray the system gets better, but looking at what's going on, I mean, you just don't. I don't know. And when you watch the interview, it is the saddest. It's sad. Okay, I'm on. I don't know. It's a news one, but I don't know if we. So sometimes, we cannot judge. Sometimes we just have to help. And and help looks different in different ways. Sometimes people need to talk. Sometimes people need to be, connected to services. Sometimes people may need $20. I'm gonna say, I got somebody who absolutely, this woman is crazy on here. And she put a call out. She didn't have gas money to get to Monday or Tuesday or something. And she didn't have food for her pets. She has never had anything nice to say about it. I had to pray on it before I took her some, her pets some food, and then took her some gas money. Because sometimes you do it, you don't do it for the people. You do it because it's something that's right. And I know, you just do. And this person, I don't know, you go outside yourself for certain things. And we got to start helping our community and sticking together. I did send it to you, Producer Jack. There's our community has so many issues. It is the haves and the have nots and the have less. Okay, let's play it, please.
Metro Detroit after 2 kids died of apparent hypothermia in a casino parking garage. Welcome to 7 News Detroit at 6. I'm Carolyn Clifford.
I'm Simon Shayket. This story has devastated our area. Just moments ago, 7 News Detroit reporter Darren Cunningham talking with the mother of those 2 children.
Darren joining us live right now from Detroit's West Side with more from their conversation. And Darren, so many people talking about this. This is simply heartbreaking.
Very heartbreaking, Carolyn, Simon. Moments ago, I did have the opportunity to speak to Tatiana Williams, who lost her 9-year-old and her 2-year-old, also in the vehicle at the time, her 4-year-old and her 8-year-old. Also, Tatiana's mother and her 2 siblings, a 13-year-old and a 17-year-old, also stay in that vehicle. She tells me that she has been homeless for 3 months and that she is trying to do better for herself, trying to get back on her feet. She told me she's a CNA, a medical assistant, and that she was actually about to start a new job tomorrow. And so I did speak with her, and I asked her, one of the questions I did ask her was to take me back to yesterday.
Yesterday, I woke them up to wake them up from school. My son wasn't moving. And I kept saying, Freddie, please get up. Please. Please, for me, just get up. Don't do this to me. And I tried to give him CPR because I'm a senior and a medical assistant. I've been working there since I was 17. I tried to give him CPR and I was just giving him CPR. I just kept saying, Freddie, don't leave me. Don't leave me, please. I saw the green and brown stuff come out of his mouth. I instantly rushed him to the hospital. I was yelling out the window, stop, stop, stop. We got to get through traffic. My baby, he's dying. We get to the hospital. I told valet, can you go get some help? He took too long, so I got out the car to get help. They came to the car, instantly grabbed my baby out and said, get a stretch. He's not breathing. Help. Cold blue. Everybody tried. I didn't even know my 2-year-old was dying. I was in it with my 9-year-old. And they brought her in right after they pronounced him dead. And my mama came to me, she said, Yaya. That's what we call her, but her name is Amelia. We just call her Yaya. And they said she wasn't breathing. And they pronounced her dead too. I asked everybody for help. I called out of state. I called cities I didn't know. I called cities people asked me to call. I even asked Detroit. I've been on CAM list for the longest. Everybody now wants to help. After I lost 2 kids, I've been asked for help. I feel like it wasn't their time. I did everything I was supposed to do. They had everything. Everything they wanted. Only thing they didn't have was a house. But from electronics to clothes, anything they asked me for, my kids didn't even get whooped. I lost the one who made me a mother. I lost a 2-year-old. It hurt losing 2 kids in one night. You know, I don't wish this on nobody. And if you can get help, please go get help. Because I don't want nobody else to go through what I'm feeling. Just wherever you can get help from, if it's not from the city, the state, no other city or state, just go. Like, you don't have to suffer.
It's very, very, very heartbreaking. The new McFall Brothers Funeral Home is covering the children's burial plans and funeral expenses. Williams, 29, she's 29 years old. She is also receiving help from Detroit Power Detroit, that organization. That's the building that we're actually standing outside of here, where we spoke to her not long ago. And so anyone who is interested in helping her family, we'll be sure to get that information on our website, WXYZ.com. And 7 News Detroit will have more from Williams on later versions of 7 News Detroit. Live on the West Side, Darren Cunningham, 7 News Detroit.
Darren, our hearts just go out to that.
Listen, hard story to watch. And as you see, it wasn't just her and her 4 children. She had, I believe, her mother and another sibling of hers. They were all living in a minivan. All living in a minivan. Rents went up, skyrocketed during COVID, right before COVID. So rent is so astronomical. And the amount of pay that you get per hour does not keep up with the amount of rent. Rent is high. Even in Flint, the average rent here in Flint is approximately, they call it fair market rate. And it's like $1,200 to $1,400. Come on. It went from like $500-$600 to like $1,200 to $1,400. Come on, market rate. And well, the market, that's not Flint's market. They took them around in different areas and combined that together. And so I just don't know. I mean, our community needs so much. And you felt what she went through. You watching it. I don't care whoever that you lose a child. She lost 2. You're not sleeping in the van because everything's okay. She needed help. And then people, oh, well, she should have did better. Oh, that's not what the father said. Okay, the whole family sleeping in the van. He knew that. You know, you get some people, you know, you have to go beyond. And she said, even with staying with family's like, well, you got too many kids. There's too many of y'all. You know, but then you get this that happens. Look, say a prayer for this family. And don't cheat and say a prayer. Look, I had to pray on my knees for that one is just heartbreaking, because this is a story should have never happened. Homelessness is real. Homelessness is very real. You'll find people who have went inside of an abandoned house and they sleep, or they go inside abandoned house and it catches fire because they burn wood or whatever they can find in the homes to keep warm. And so you'll find that. So keep them in the prayer. Homelessness is real. Sometimes let's not judge. Sometimes we just need to help. And that's why it's important to have conversations in our community. What does our community need? Our community needs, number one, the service lines to be completed, period. They do. They claim it's 98%. There's an article, I don't know if I sent it to you. The state did with Eagle, said they're 98% complete. I did send an email to have someone come explain that. I have not heard back yet. That needs to be done at a meeting so that we know. So that we do know. Okay. Can we put up Judge Law? So I'm going to divert to this. So people are always asking about the service, like when they going to get their money, when they going to get the money. So Judge, I was getting ready to say Judge, this isn't Judge Lawson. Judge, I forget her name. Lord have mercy. Yeah. Judge sets EPA's day in court over Flint water crisis. So they're going to be going, I don't know when the date, listen, y'all, because I'm on, let me see. So this part is, I gotta find out what I did with y'all. Maybe it's on this one. I thought I had screenshot. So that is some, I wanted to read it. And then maybe I ain't gonna be able to read it because the whole article is not gonna come up. It is not gonna come up. So judge sets EPA in court over Flint's water crisis. So this is going to court. It is under our Flint writer for the city of Flint is Ron Funger. Ron Funger does do all of our articles, majority of them. And so this was his article that he wrote. Judge sets EPA, and let me do a little something. Let me see. I'm gonna read it so y'all can have it. So just bear with me. Then after this one, Producer Jay, I want to go into, because we are celebrating Black History Month. And then we got problems with the DEI. And what is DEI? Diversity, equity, and inclusion. And we're going to talk about what's going on with that. Okay. Says Flint, a federal court judge has set the date for what could be the first bench trial in a Flint water case involving the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. During a status conference with attorneys for roughly 1,000 Flint children on Thursday, February 13th, U.S. District Judge Judith E. Levy set January 26, 2026. Now that's a whole year away, for the start of the trial in Ann Arbor. Lawsuits against the EPA have maintained Flint's water crisis, which was triggered by the city's use of the Flint River for drinking water, which was compounded by the federal government's show an ineffective response. Levy, an appointee of former President Barack Obama, has previously ruled that the EPA is not immune from negligence claims tied to the water crisis and denied the agency's motion for certification for an interlocutory appeal. I don't know what that is, y'all. I'm not an attorney. In addition to Levy, Judge Linda V. Parker is also presiding over Flint water crisis, pending the EPA to the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District. This trial is a whole year away, y'all. January 2026. So, unlike the state of Michigan, the city of Flint, and private companies connected to the water crisis, the EPA has declined to settle lawsuits brought against it by individuals who claimed they were damaged by the Flint water crisis, that the water was contaminated with lead and bacteria. You don't usually see that they even put in the article that there was bacteria, and you will hear Arthur Woodson, there was PFAS, cyanide, nickel, lead. Person who you heard really talk, you don't usually see this in an article. You don't. But it's in here that there was lead and bacteria. Okay. Flint residents whose claims are part of a settlement of more than $600 million still have not received payments from the fund, something court officials have said is related to the thousands of requests for reconsideration of appeals and claims. The EPA has maintained that the agency was not involved in the decision to switch Flint's water source or not to treat the water to make it less corrosive to lead pipes and in-home plumbing. I'm going to put a pin in it right there. We had a pilot program with the lady Faith with the city of Flint. Faith was getting 50 homes done in new in-home plumbing. Mayor Sheldon Neely fired her. He fired her, y'all. Because what? She did her job to get what? In-home plumbing. To get in-home plumbing. He fired her. 50 people were getting in-home plumbing. Didn't have to pay for it. And they had some of the most corrosive water. This was with the program with Athena runs it with the nonprofit United and Athena, forgive me if I can't remember the name. And they were able to get 50 homes done. Didn't like the fact that Faith was when Arthur Whitson went out and got the signatures to get the people. Hey, I'll go out and get the people who got, I'll go to the homes. That's how the community is supposed to work. Mayor Neely didn't get out and get it done. Yet the nonprofit Faith went out and he fired Faith. Mayor Neely fired Faith. Fired her. 50 homes are going to get new in-home plumbing. Why? The lines were corrosive. We had bacteria in the water. And he out here firing folks doing their job. Patty. Faith Grossbeck. Some of y'all might remember when she was like, don't misuse. She had the sign holding it up about the opioid money. So this was, this is, you don't normally hear them say that with the bacteria. You don't see that in our, good job, Ron Fonger. The agency has pointed to other parties with direct involvement in Flint responsible part, including the state of Michigan, which had the primary enforcement responsibility for oversight of the city's water. On Thursday, Levy says she expects 4 plaintiffs to represent those with pending claims in the case. Barring a settlement, the judge says she is expected to keep the case on track for a trial at the beginning of next year. So look, if y'all calling me, this trial is a year off, okay? A year, next year, January 26, 2026. So that's when it is. So that is one of the most called people like, when do we do? Flint is not in that case. That, whoever y'all attorneys are, y'all got to call them. You're looking at least a year away. So there it is. Go on Facebook, Ron Fonger's page, or M-Line on the World Wide Web. Google it. But that's what's happening. So if y'all worried about getting y'all money, y'all listen. Y'all money is a long ways off, clearly. So, Producer Jay, can you put up, I want to go to diversity, equity, and inclusion, because y'all know they done got rid of diversity, equity, inclusion. The president talking about some, we not, there's certain holidays we are not, he's not, because I am. Mr. President, I do not need your permission to celebrate Black History Month, okay? Let me be clear. I do not need yours or anybody's permission to celebrate Black History Month. My ancestors, my culture, I do not. Okay? So him getting rid of them, that or whatever, the DEI, diversity and equity inclusion, you can see that it's rolling over. Genesee County Commissioner votes to recognize Black History Month after DEI reference was removed. So over at the Genesee County, they had before, this is the second article. The first article that they have, and again, y'all, Ron Fonger, I'm going to have to give it to him because he reported it. Ron Fonger, we might have to, get you some protection out here because you're reporting stuff and making folks mad. His original one, and it says Genesee County Commissioner wants off Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Commission, says it's opposite of being inclusive. It's opposite of being inclusive. So this is the second hour, and that is my bad, Producer Jay. So we showing both though. And so I guess he's been getting some flack back. And so, which you should. and it's almost, I think that he was saying diversity, reverse discrimination. He said he felt he wasn't ever recognized. So I am going to read some of his stuff that's in here. Some of his stuff that is in there. And so if you can see that, can you put up the second one that I just sent you? Listen, if you want to donate, it's down at the bottom of the scroll. You have Cash App and Zelle. So Producer Jay, if you can put that up there, please. It is the Cash App $, Producer J 1987. And then the Zelle has got the, I can't see it, y'all, it's too small. It's at the bottom on the scroll. So I do not have, I know people asked last week, I do not have one for that one. So you can see the Cash App $, if you can donate. Donate to that to Producer J, $ 1987. So I sent you the one. So Genesee County Commissioner wants off DEI. And no, this one says that's not the one. Anyways, so thank you. So Genesee County Commissioner wants off DEI commission, says it's the opposite of inclusive. So inclusiveness is where we have everyone we recognize all your holidays and, we want to include everyone. As we're looking at this country, which is still is split, it's unfortunate. It is unfortunate how it is split. So when we look at some of the things that have happened, and this is one of the commissioners where Ron Fonger wrote the article, and the article that he wrote says, says during a committee last week, Shoemaker withheld his support of the original Black History Month resolution, specifically because it included the reference to the county's diversity, equity, and inclusion. As someone who sat on the committee for years, I've asked the chair to replace me on that board because I feel there is nothing diverse about that board, Shoemaker said last week. I've never felt included when I walk into that board, he said. When I walk into that board, I have never felt my views were valued. The commissioner said he's been the only conservative man on the 9-member advisory panel, which he believes has fallen short of achieving one of its stated purposes, bringing diverse people and groups together. My concern was not the resolution recognizing Black History Month. It is how the board is implementing diversity, equity, inclusion, and its policies. He's got some very strong views. Yeah, and please leave that up. His views are very, I've heard him speak. I was invited to go to the Republican Party and I listened to him speak. He was one of the speakers. He has some very strong views. He is a conservative. He spoke on his feelings for the LGBTQIA+, I hope I got it all right, community. He spoke on that. And he also spoke on, about his views that there were 3 Republicans and they're gaining progress. Now, this is in his speech. And that this is the most that they've had. They're gaining momentum, and and they're Republican. And you got to be careful because somehow some people present certain things to you. He is conservative. He talked, and he is pro-life, and they spoke. And I have pro-life friends, but my concern with this one is Genesee County. People, we have to be careful. He is a Trump supporter. He absolutely is. Heard him speak about it. And so he doesn't feel that this is a diverse group. So he did not, I read to you what he stated. One thing I will say, Commissioner Winfrey, which is Commissioner Charles Winfrey, who sits on that board. And let me back up. You have got, which is really different, I'm going to tell you the breakdown. So the chair of that board is, if you could please leave that up, I apologize because I haven't read it yet. Thank you. The chair of that board is Delrico Lloyd, Commissioner Lloyd. He's the chair. The vice chair is Sean Shoemaker. Believe at the time they were putting up to be Dr. Brown? She was on there. And you have got Commissioner Lloyd. He is the chair. He voted Sean Shoemaker. He supported him. And then you have the five votes to get those two on there, which the board, I've never seen it split like this. I've never. So the 3 Republicans voted with Commissioner Lloyd, and you had Dale Kenneth Wayhill, and I don't know with Dale Kenneth Wayhill. And so those were the 5 votes to get the chair and the vice chair. I have watched Sean Shoemaker. I mean, I've heard him speak. I was there at that Republican Republican when they did whatever it is, and I heard him speak. And his views on the LGBTQIA plus, if I didn't add on them, I apologize, are very strong views. And I was disturbed by his views. I believe in inclusiveness of our community. That's my beliefs. But during that, his views were very strong. So then now we're looking at he didn't want to sign to the diversity, equity, inclusion. So who spoke up? Commissioner Charles Winfrey. Commissioner Charles Winfrey, I am so happy you spoke up. Commissioner Winfrey said, and this is the father of Councilwoman Jerry Winfrey Carter. He said, Commissioner Charles Winfrey, Democrat Flint, was among commissioners who withheld support for Shoemaker's version of the resolution. Commissioner Winfrey said he ain't voting on that nonsense. He didn't do it. He said, if people of color and other protected groups had been treated with dignity and respect throughout the history of this country, there would be no need for diversity, equity, and inclusion, or Black History Month, said Winfrey, Commissioner Charles Winfrey, who served 10 years in Flint City government, including time as Diversity and Equity Officer. I voted with the DEI Commission, Diversity and Equity Commission. I sit on the Diversity Equity Commission, and I'm not going to denigrate the Diversity, Equity, Inclusion Commission by supporting this motion, Winfrey said. Commissioner Winfrey, thank you for speaking up for your community. Thank you for putting it in words to where your history, your ancestors, your culture, when we talk about civil rights and everything, that it matters. That is Commissioner Winfrey. That is Councilwoman Winfrey Carter's dad. Can you put the one back up? I didn't read the right side. I'm sorry. This is Commissioner Winfrey. My concern was not the resolution, which Shoemaker said. It is how the board is implementing its own policies. And we have Commissioner Winfrey who said, if the people of color and other protected groups have been treated with dignity and respect throughout this history, there would be no need. Who are the commissioners who voted with them? The chair, Commissioner Delrico Lloyd, Martin Cousineau, Thetford Township, Brian Fleming voted for Shoemaker's version of the resolution, as well as the original resolution, which was written by Commissioner Dale Wayhill. Delrico Lloyd, I'm shocked you voted for this. Disappointed. Sometimes you want a chair so bad that something should not. Commissioner Winfrey, thank you for speaking up and being a Black man during Black History Month, speaking up, using your voice and using your words. Thank you, Commissioner Charles Winfrey, for what you do and the job you do for standing in the gap, recognizing that protected groups and Black people, if they were treated with dignity and respect and fairness, we wouldn't have to ask for inclusiveness now. We wouldn't have to. We wouldn't have to. So shout out and look, let's throw up the little trophy. Look, I know I believe I sent that to you. My thanks to you, Black History Month, Commissioner Charles Winfrey. You get the Black History Award for today's show for speaking up on the board, letting people know that protected classes and Black people matter. Inclusiveness matters. Thank you, Commissioner Charles Winfrey. So I appreciate that. And I also want to give the award to, listen, our Black historian. Y'all know, we call him, I can throw up the other. I can't find no picture of him. I'm gonna have to get one because I know he is watching. We call him Papa. He is also known as Wilbur Papa Jarrett, Effie baby boy. He is the Flint historian. He gonna tell you about St. John Street and everything else. And so, with much respect for our Flint historian, he has a PBS special. Wilbur Papa Jarrett, we call him Papa around here. And Papa don't take no mess, y'all. He don't. To Papa Jarrett, you know, Black History Month for you being a historian, and congratulations to your PBS Public Broadcasting Service on public TV for you being highlighted in your words and your oral history, making sure that our history is preserved as a race, as a color, as a community, and as a city. So to you, Papa Jarrett, I am highlighting you today also for being Flint's historian in your PBS special, along with Mr. Charles or Commissioner Winfrey. Kudos to y'all. Appreciate and sending y'all both much love. And I know Cynthia Jarrett, Papa's wife, Miss Cynthia, is watching. So please let your husband know. And usually Papa be watching too. So I want to make sure that we celebrate people in our community who don't just sit by and go along with the status quo, because you have got to speak out. You've got to speak out. Producer Jay, if you can put up, we're going to take a minute for the pause. I don't know if you have the pink. Listen, we have to keep these show going because I have to pay the producer. Y'all. So look, if you can tip the producer, that's going to be $, Cash App, Producer J 1987. You know, they reported his account last week for terrorism. I mean, that's what people were saying they were having problems, is because it was terrorism. So please kindly donate to Cash App, $ Producer J 1987. It is on the screen. So if you could donate to him. There were some serious issues. I don't know what kind of cruel and unusual individuals reported as terrorism, but y'all, they did. So in order to do it, he could be doing something else, but he's here so that we can make sure that we get out information so that we know who in our community support our causes, who are willing to go along with anybody else's causes in our community, those who are unapologetically Black and are fine, because you don't get to change your color. You're going to still be Black, okay? To those who are unapologetically Black, I appreciate those, because look, people going to take you for who you are. They're going to be one person in your face and there's something else behind your back. I appreciate that. I truly do. So we have to, and for me, it is important, like I say, to recognize what it is. You know, when we're looking at how people voting, I mean, I'm just not understanding. How do you vote with the one who don't want diversity, equity, and inclusion? I don't understand Rico Lloyd. I'm sorry. I don't understand it. And this is in print. How do you do that as a Black man? I'm not understanding that. I'm just not understand. I'm bothered by that. When you know, if you don't sell out your people, I don't understand that. I mean, I read, and sometimes, y'all, you got to read. Ron Funke put it down on he was there. It's in their minutes. This is forever in a record that he voted with someone who didn't want diversity, equity, and inclusion. I'm not understanding that. And he said it wasn't that he, wasn't Black History Month. What do you think Black History Month is? Diversity, equity, inclusion. We were never included. We were never included. Never. What do you think is what we still look? We have not arrived. When you get a 400, 200 or year start or head start, we will be behind. We will be behind. And that to me is when you want power so bad that you will make a vote to go against who you will be I'm gonna be a Black woman. And I ain't for everybody. I'm not. And if you don't like my show, log off. Simple as that. Jay Wiz, maybe he has a reason. No, Jay, I'm not giving no passes. No, that is a Black no, because that is specifically for Black History Month for diversity, equity, and inclusion. There is no reason. If your white counterparts can't stand with you on Black history, come on. I'm not understanding that. I mean, I will say, even for the city council, we have named February for Black History Month. We came together for that. I'm not understanding that. I'm not. I'm not understanding. I'm not understanding that. I'm not. Not at all. So, not at all. So, Producer Jay, we're moving pretty quick today. Look at that. Christine Lee, that will always be the downfall, not standing on purpose in business. Do y'all know what y'all would have crucified me if I hadn't voted with somebody that didn't support diversity and inclusion? Man, I would have been crucified. Man, I would have been crucified. That's serious. But like I say, I appreciate when I read Commissioner Winfrey's response. I was appreciative of him and of his words. I really was. You don't hear Commissioner Winfrey speaking out generally like that, but he did not. He spoke out very well. I was very appreciative of that. Very, very appreciative. I do want to talk about there was a video that I sent that one. So I want to put up, and I want to go back to, so we're going to go back to, can we put up did I send you the Hasselbrink? I probably didn't. The Hasselbrink, we talked about the meeting for Monday. So one of the big things they keep saying, you cannot amend a contract. Y'all, that ain't true. You cannot amend a contract that's with the city. Y'all, that ain't true. So I believe, Producer Jay, if you can come on, did I send to you? I did believe I sent to you for May 9, 2022. Y'all, guess what we did? We amended the contract, city council, and we voted on it. So they keep saying we cannot amend the contract or lease. Well, we amended it for Mott Park and voted on it. Didn't even have the paperwork ready, y'all. Didn't have it ready. So, Producer Jay, you were about to come in. I'm sorry. Come on back in, sir.
No, I was just saying, yeah, I got it.
Okay. So, this was when May 9th, Councilman Eric Mays, May 9th, 2022. And so I literally was laughing at some of the stuff. And we may let this play a minute because you know that Mays' voice, y'all gonna see Councilman Mays on here. So during this meeting on May 9th, we're talking about this. We're talking about the Mott Park. We amended it. It wasn't ready. We had the city attorney, William Kim. We had the city clerk at the time, Inez Brown. We had the deputy city clerk at the time, Davina Donahue. And we also had Clyde Edwards. And y'all, we amended the contract. They said, you cannot amend a contract that the administration, and enter into legal. Y'all, we did it, y'all. We gonna play the video. Mark Hudge says, who said you cannot amend the contract? That person was being untruthful. Well, it was said. It was said because that's what we've been fighting. So we're going to play. Can we go to May 9th? I believe that I sent you the time stamp where we, and we're going to let it play a little
77 and 220.
We good. Let it play.
0182. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Okay. Ms. Lewis?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Ms. Winfrey Carter?
Yes.
Ms. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Hickenroder?
Yes.
Mr. Pfeiffer?
Yes.
Mr. Mays?
Yes.
The vote is 8 yes, 0 no, and 220177
And 182.
and 182.
The vote is 8 yes and 0 no. Those are approved. The chair will entertain a motion to approve the master resolution with any separations.
Madam President. Madam President.
Chair, Madam Chair,
Madam Chair.
Mr. Murphy.
I would like to move Resolution 220059.1, 220173, 220174, 220175, 220176, 220178, 220181 with any separations.
There's a motion to approve the master resolution with any separations. Is there a second?
Madam Chair,
Ms. Priestley.
second that motion.
It's been moved and properly supported. Is there any discussion or separations?
Yeah, Madam Chair.
Yes, Mr. Mays.
So, in effect, what we have before us, a master resolution. Or is it some left out?
It's the master resolution.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I want to separate something. I'll come back once I look at them and see if it's something I want to separate.
Okay. Is there any other discussion?
Madam Chair,
Ms. Burns.
I would like to separate item number 2200591. I would like to separate that so that we can have a discussion. There's some
Point of
errors.
information,
What's your point?
is that 59.1?
Yes.
Yes, it is 59.1. Thank you, Councilman Mays. I would like to separate that. I've spoken with Deputy Clerk Davina on some things that need to be done still, and I would like it separated for those purposes, please, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. Is there any other discussion on the master resolution? Is there any other discussion on the master resolution? In the second round, is there any discussion on the master resolution?
Yeah, Madam Chair.
Mr. Mays.
Yeah, Madam Chair, these amendments, budget transfer in the third quarter. That's just for the fleet.
Mr. Mays, is your microphone on?
Beg your pardon?
Can you move your microphone closer to your mouth when you turn away? It doesn't sound like it's getting picked up.
I can't even hardly hear you when it's up at your mouth, so I'll do what I need to do. I don't think nobody have a problem hearing me.
Okay.
Do you? Do you have a problem hearing me?
I'm trying to ensure that the public can hear you as well.
Beg your pardon, I didn't know what you just said.
Mr. Mays, if you could please just move your microphone closer to your mouth.
Say what? I really can't hear you. You think you talking soft and nice. I ain't gonna lie to you. If I don't understand you, I'm gonna ask you what you say. What did you say?
Mr. Mays, if you could please move your microphone closer to your mouth while you're speaking so that the public may hear you.
I ain't really clear what you're saying. If that's the best you can articulate, and if I still can't hear you, then I'm gonna just piece together what you said. You said something about a microphone to my mouth. You want to clear it up better? You think it's funny, Miss Herkenroder. I'm 64 years old in September. I ain't got time to play games with you.
Mr. Mays.
If I tell you I don't hear you, I can't understand you, that's what I'm saying. Now, if you want me to ignore you, I can. But if you want to repeat it and think it ain't funny and just repeat it, that would be a courtesy. You ain't got nothing to say now.
For the third time, if you could please just make sure that your microphone is down by your mouth so that all members of public can hear you. Thank you.
Now I heard what you said. Was that hard? Did that kill you? That didn't kill you, did it? For the third time, it didn't kill you. See, Ms. Herkenroder, as I deal with this master resolution, I don't like you because of the way that you done penalized me at the drop of the hat. 30 seconds. I get up, Ms. Lewis say something. You're out of order. I don't like your style. And I'm going to be frank about it. It's going to be hard for you to get cool with me, and you might not never make it. Ms. Worthing didn't make it. Kate Peels didn't make it. When you notice that I don't even speak to you and others in the hallway, I've gone about my business. Been doing it for years. I don't trust you, don't like your style. So if I tell you I can't hear you, you can be smug.
Point of order.
What's your point?
What is this discussion about he doesn't like council members? It's not germane to what we're doing. Please, let's move on.
Mr. Mays.
Beg your pardon? I didn't hear what you said, Ms. Herkenroder. What did you say in response to her point of order?
I said Mr. Mays.
Mr. Mays, that's a ruling? Because my position is this. My position is I was talking business. You said 3 times to speak in the microphone. I've said to you certain things about your tone, and it's still the same way. I'm used to Ms. Liddell Lewis always trying to get something started. It's getting a little old, so I can appreciate you saying Mr. Mays. Back to the business, because I'll pay attention to some nonsense. I don't think I have any separations at this time, but I want to look over it. I'm ready to vote on the master resolution, and regardless of what folks say, this is my 8th, 9th year. You, Ms. Lewis, or nobody else is going to change me from doing business. Y'all can smirk, laugh, conspire, and do what you want, and I'm going to highlight it.
Thank you. Are there any other members of council who wish to speak? Are there any other members of council who wish to speak? Final call. Are there any other members of council who wish to speak? Hearing none, that takes us to the vote on the master resolution. As a reminder, Resolution 220059.1 has been separated. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Ms. Winfrey Carter?
Yes.
Ms. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Herkenroder?
Yes.
Mr. Pfeiffer?
Yes.
Mr. Mays?
Yes.
Ms. Lewis?
Yes.
The vote is 8 yes, 0 no on the master resolution.
The vote is 8 yes, 0 no on the master resolution. That brings us to our one separation of 220059.1. Ms. Burns, you requested to separate this resolution.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I asked to separate this because there are still some errors in it throughout it where the agreement is to be for 10 years. And I would like to have Deputy Clerk Davina explain this process. I don't want to mess it up. Please, through you, Madam Chair.
I'm not sure, excuse me, which meeting exactly that council did vote to amend the agreement to 10 years, but that did pass.
Point of information. Through you, Madam
What's
Chair,
your
to the
point?
Speaker, I can't hear you.
I'm sorry. Is this better? I'm trying not to. get too close to the microphone. I'm not sure which meeting it was that council did make a motion and passed the amendment to the resolution itself to change the agreement from 50-year to a 10-year agreement. And at that time, there was a discussion to the administration as to whether or not an amended resolution would be provided. And it hadn't been provided yet. So we did take the liberty to do the amendment for the resolution. Unfortunately, the old agreement was attached, so what's on your agenda is a resolution for 10 years. The agreement reads 50. However, if council approves the 10-year resolution, then it would be incumbent upon the administration to amend the agreement, because we don't really retype agreements. So right now, the resolution is correct. There's one small typo, but the amendment that's attached to it needs to be amended to 10 years as well.
So, thank you, Madam Deputy Clerk. So we need to vote, so I'm clear, so we need to vote on this, approve it, and then 10 years, once it's approved, it's up to the administration to do the last part of it, because we've already agreed and voted to approve the 10 years.
Point of information. I really wish I could hear the conversation. I really don't know what's being said. I could hear you, Ms. Burns.
Mr. Mays, Ms. Brown was trading off the microphone, which is why you heard all of that static. She has the microphone now.
I was indicating from a public standpoint that we would have the administration change the rest of the
Point of information.
to reflect the 10 years.
What's your point?
It's really difficult for me to hear over here. Y'all think I'm playing, but I'm not.
Point of information.
Tell what's being said.
What's your point?
My point is, did you know that you can get those earbuds right back there so you can hear?
Point of order. Now, why is you letting her interrupt my point of information and point of order with this earbud thing? I'm about ready to cuss. I'm so tired of her, I don't know what to do.
Mr. Mays.
I'm seriously trying to get
Mr.
it where I
Mays.
can hear what's going on.
Mr. Mays.
I ain't studying
Mr.
what you
Mays.
talking about with that mess.
Mr. Mays. As we all know, a point of order and a point of information is valid at any time and may interrupt a speaker. You interrupted Ms. Brown for a point of order. Dr. Lewis interrupted you with a point of information.
Point of order.
I have to first rule on the initial point of order. The first point of order was that you could not hear. I do want to make sure that you are able to hear Ms. Brown. The point of information from Dr. Lewis is denied. What is your point of order?
My point of order is just what you said. When I asked for a point of order, rule on it. She did a point of information in the middle of the point of order for some mess. And she's still over here acting messy, and I appreciate your ruling of denying her. I'm seriously trying to hear you, Davina, and Ms. Brown. I'm not playing with this.
Mr. Mays.
So is it anything we can do to really, if I can't hear it and understand it, I'm going to do another point of order and ask that people speak louder.
Mr. Mays, I must again rule on that point of order, which was not a technical point of order, but I do believe that Paul is about to hand you earbuds so that you may be able to see, as was suggested earlier in the meeting. Thank you. Ms. Brown, you have the floor.
Yes, I think in reading the document that was attached, we found about 4 errors where the 50 years was still mentioned. And I think that as a part of the cleanup, you all could still go ahead and approve the resolution, but as a part of the pending the cleanup of the narrative that is attached so that it reflects a 10-year period as opposed to 50 years.
Thank you.
That's all I wanted to say for the record.
Okay, thank you. And Madam Chair, through you to City Administrator Clyde Edwards, could you come to the podium, sir?
Mr. Edwards. I do want to remind the council that there is no motion on the floor right now, and we do need to have a motion on the floor. Ms. Burns?
Put a motion on the floor to approve item number
220059.1?
Yes, that one. Thank you. Thank you.
There,
With corrections, pending corrections.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor to approve 220059.1 pending corrections. Is there support?
Madam Chair,
Ms. Winfrey Carter?
I'll support that motion.
Okay, thank you. It has been moved and properly supported. For the discussion, Ms. Burns, you have the floor.
Thank you. Through you to City Administrator. Mr. Edwards, the the Mott recreational area, they have a deadline, and I know this has been down there. Can you give me an estimated amount of time that we would be able to make the corrections that need to be made so that we can get it? Well, it's going to have to go for 2 weeks for our next council, which really puts them in a bad tonight. Oh, yeah. Can you speak to are you willing to cooperate, or the correct, I want to say the corrections that need to be made with the administration if we approve this tonight, so we don't hold it up any longer, so that we can get, and I'm looking through it, and there are several 50 years throughout, because it reflects 10 and 50 years. If we can get this done in a quick way.
I don't see a problem with that. Document was articulated by legal.
Oh, okay.
Not from, it wasn't constructed by the administration. That was done by legal.
Thank you. And through you, Madam Chair, to Attorney Kim. So Attorney Kim, with the corrections that need to be made, because I want to be able to send, they have a grand opening I don't know if it's a grand opening, if that's letting the public know to where it'll be, where they're operating. So is it feasible to have this, because we're behind on deadlines, how long would it be? Do you think that we could get those simple corrections made?
I don't see that it would take longer than the end of the week, assuming that essentially if this council approves the resolution, it would authorize the entering into a 10-year agreement, so we would have to make those changes, and those are fairly, global search and replace changes for that sort of thing.
Through you, Madam Chair, through you to the city clerk.
In order to help to expedite the process, we can get with Mr. Kim tomorrow to show him precisely where the errors are.
Okay.
And then that way he would not have to read the entire document.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Edwards. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Yeah, Madam Chair.
Mr. Mays?
Yeah. What kind of bothers me about this agreement is not the agreement for Mott Park, but it reminds me of the agreement for the Old Farmers Market. And what's killing me about these agreements that come before council is when an agreement comes as it relates to a proposed agreement, House or Est or anything North Side, we got a lot of pushback. It ain't just white folks pushing back, it's black folks too. Mr. Murphy seemed to be one of the main ones. Herkenroder had a problem with the popcorn popper.
Mr. Mays, remember your decorum, please.
Beg your pardon?
I said remember your decorum, please. It is out of turn for council members to reference other council members.
No, it ain't. It ain't out of order to reference a council member. I can talk about your vote, the Republicans' vote, the Supreme Court Justice vote. I don't know where you're getting that from. Show it to me in writing. But I'm going to reference you, I'm going to reference them, I'm going to reference how folks vote, and that's what I'm going to do. Your voting record is open game. I see agreements coming before council from the Mott Park Association. I see them coming from the Children's Museum as it relates to the Old Farmers Market. But what I don't see coming is agreements for some folks I represent in primarily black part of town, North End. And it's starting to bother me. I might abstain on this. I might let the same crew that unlawfully voted me out vote on this. Because it's getting to be a little much. Ain't no way I'm gonna sit here, learn, and do for 8-9 years, and then folk come in here in 5 or 6 months talking condescending to me. And flip it. It ain't gonna happen with me. I wouldn't care if I was arrested and handcuffed and threw out of the next 12 meetings. It's a different treatment. It's not only discriminatory toward me and the side of town that I represent, but it's discriminatory toward these memorandums and projects and agreement with folks. It seemed like this council easily makes agreements with certain folks. It just seemed to be a pattern. It seems to be a pattern. And the minute we try to reach an agreement with other folks, it's a problem. It's a big problem. And so that's going to be my voting record. I want to see this council do a project with some black folks, some North End folks. I want to see it, because I've yet to see it. I've seen Mott Park, I've seen the Children's Museum, I've seen Miller Road. But whenever it comes to some black folks, the North Flint Food Market, the House of Esther, oh, I just don't know. I think we need some formal proposals. Why are they coming through the side door and the back door?
Mr. Mays, please remember your decorum.
Beg your pardon?
Please remember your decorum.
My decorum? My decorum is going to be what it is. And when I talk the way I talk, you can rule me out of order, and this group can vote and throw me out and have the police arrest me. I can talk like I want to talk. I got freedom of speech. Have you learned a new word? Decorum? What about your decorum? What about when you ruled me out of order for speaking 37 seconds over, and I done sit here today and watch folks wrap up? What about your decorum when I asked to be excused, Ms. Lewis saying something, and you ruled me out of order? What about your decorum? Maybe it's a cultural difference. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe you ain't used to a black man talking a certain way. Is that what it is? It might not be decorum. It might be race norm. You ever heard of race norm? That's a word I made up because you might have a cultural difference from me.
Thank you.
I'm black, you white.
Thank you, Mr. Mays. Your
Talking
time,
about decorum.
your time is up. Is there any other speak?
No,
Mr.
my
Murphy.
time is up. May I be excused for a second?
Here we go again.
Can you cut it?
Want to
Producer Jay.
throw some cheap shots.
Remember decorum.
So, and we let it go on a little longer. Councilman Mays made some very valid points. When it comes to things on the north side, or as he said, the black side of town, it's always a problem. Hasselbrink, it's a problem. When does this council come together for issues pertaining to black people? When does it come together? You don't have the first word councilman speaking out. He said, no, she actually, I tried to get her. No, the video shows he didn't. We didn't hear him and he didn't press his mic. He did not. Y'all saw the video. During the meeting on February 10th, we're going to cue this up. You have Judy saying there's nothing you can do. You can't amend it. So can we put that video up? Because we just saw you had the city attorney, the city clerk. Everybody was all for we going to amend it. That was Mott Park is in my ward. When do we work hard for the entire community? and including the Black side. You know, when we have centers such as Hasselbring, it makes our community better. Can we play that, please?
Madam Chair,
Councilwoman in the 4th Ward, you have the floor.
I'd like to address the Hasselbring situation. Number one, I was not present during any of the votes as I was in Connecticut. Number two, it was asked that we drop that contract. They voted, the council voted unanimously for those people present. It was 8-0 to postpone it indefinitely. The only way that can come back is with a new resolution. Number three, Hasselbring again. We do not negotiate contracts. That is not our role. We are legislative. We do not negotiate contracts. We can only approve contracts. And at this point, if it was to come back, the mayor would veto it. So we can do everything you want, but it doesn't count for anything. And we will be violating our charter by doing stuff that is not allowed. So I just want to let you know, understand that there's nothing we can do as a body for Hasselbring without a new resolution with the dollar amount, because we cannot approve that previous contract because it was voted to table indefinitely. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to speak during council response?
Okay, we're done with
Madam
that.
Chair.
Councilwoman in the 6th Ward, you have the floor.
Thank you.
No, let that go. I'm sorry. Let that go a little more. I apologize. My bad, y'all. Big difference. I'm hoping this evening, St. Mark's is not on here this evening, and I'm gonna continue to put it up for reconsideration as long, let them keep voting it down. Let them keep saying that they're not gonna feed the community, and we have the money. We have the money. Mr. Woodson, I want to thank you for what you do in the ward, in the 6th Ward, and you and the members. Ms. Thomas, you serve more than just the community that's right there. The ones who walk over, the ones who live there. People come from wherever. And that line, you run out of food before you run out of people to give it to. Water, vegetables, when it's hot, when it's cold. And it's hard when we lack the will as a council to do what we know is right, and we have the money. We have the money. Last time I checked, it was over 600,000, I believe. I'm not exactly sure what the number, but we lack the will. We're allowing our community to go hungry, and we have the money. We have the money. Council can't get 5 votes, should be 8. We're missing a 9th vote to feed this community. There's no way, no one, and it doesn't have to be if I like you or not, because I done voted on people's projects, and I don't even, it's not a like, it's the business. I voted on if it takes care of the people. Make these votes about the people, leave the personal out of it, so our community doesn't go hungry when we got the money.
Is there anyone?
Yeah. So let's play the one I sent it to you. And in between now, look, if you can donate to Cash App, $810, and I'm not 810, oh Lord have mercy, Cash App, Producer J, Producer J 1987. Y'all, it's a lot going on over in here. So you can donate because he's spending his time to help. So you can look, tip the DJ. Please kindly donate to Cash App, Producer J 1987. It's also along at the bottom of the scroll. It's along at the bottom of the scroll. Okay, if you can put up the next one as we transition to Leon El Alamein. I don't know how you in the first word don't advocate for you. I don't understand. Let's play his as he flippity flops and I don't know. I'm not understanding it. He stated as Bev and them will never go nowhere. Now he's saying, hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. Because he ain't advocating. It's his ward. It's his ward. So can we put up the one, and thank you to 810 Flint. You do a beautiful job of preparing these videos and clipping them. They have the Blue Like Lion, 810 Flint. They're on YouTube and they're also on Facebook. They're good content creators. So if we could put that one up where it shows.
Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Mr. Alamin.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Wilson, for your question in regards to the House of Brains situation. That situation in regards when I spoke in support of Ms. Beverly continuing in that position, had an opportunity to move forward at that time with the lease. And unfortunately, several colleagues on council pushed back on it. And so it got tabled at that time, even though the president had signed off on it. Then there was several other conversations in regards to trying to move forward with the lease. And part of it, I was going to pay the whole first year of the lease, and it was pushed back on that. And some other things because of other council members intervening on the issue over there, got that tabled and pushed back, so we couldn't move forward with it. And they didn't want to move forward with it as it currently stands. So as that lease stands and trying to bring something back up, that current lease is over with. And we're moving forward as it currently stands with new management and so forth. So it's no way to bring that lease back up because we're moving forward in a different direction. Thank you. So currently, as the lease agreement that has been negotiated and where it stands is the one in which House of Brain will be obligated to pay $500 a month for 5 years as part of the a lease agreement that was negotiated, signed off by the president and so forth a couple months back. But I did have some conversation with the executive director and the board of directors at House of Brain over a week or so ago, and they had stated that as the lease currently stands, this is something that they don't really want to support at this time, and that they would like a $1 lease and a few other things amended into this lease. And so currently I would like to table this currently until we're able to reevaluate that and have some negotiation and so forth and try to come to a better understanding of where we're going to get to with this lease.
So if I hear you correctly, you would like to postpone indefinitely Resolution 240511.
Correct. And unfortunately, several colleagues on council pushed back on it. And so it got tabled at that time, even though the president had signed off on it. And then there was several other conversations in regards to trying to move forward with the lease. And part of it, I was going to pay the whole first year of the lease, and it was pushed back on that. And some other things because of other council members intervening on the issue over there, got that tabled and pushed back, so we couldn't move forward with it.
Okay. The video, I mean, people need to stop. Leon was the one who tabled it. Leon tabled it. Wasn't his colleagues. We voted. He put the motion up. We didn't put it up. Leon put that up. It was Leon who tabled it, and then Candace said, to what you mean to postpone it indefinitely? He said, yes. Why is the problem with the lease? Leon, you did that. Your colleagues didn't do that. You did that. Just up there lying. Your colleagues didn't do that. You did that. We voted. You put that up. You put that up. You will be fact-checked on here. You put that up, and thank you. You know, Avon O'Flynn does a good job. He did that. He fetched it. Now, he wanted to use his ward money, but here's the thing. He wanted to use his ward money. They have a 5-year lease. That would pay for 1 year. So if they're saying if we can get a $1 lease, and it wasn't, the $500, it was if the furnaces went out, and they have 3. If they get a roof problem, if they get a foundation problem, anything that goes wrong with that building, which is built in 1986 or 87 or 85, one of them in the late 80s, they would have for each occurrence something that would be wrong, that they would have to pay $2,500 for. In addition to that, they have to pay their own water and own water bill and own consumers, which they do it. Some of the other ones don't do that, y'all. They don't pay their own consumers. My park don't, or they don't pay their own water. And so some of them don't, you know. Then we look at their rentals. they wanted a percentage of their rentals. Started off at the administration wanted 25%. Then they went to 10%. Okay. None of the other places pay 0%. Zero. They keep 100% of their 100% of what their rentals is because they use it to cycle it back. Hasselbrink uses some of their rentals to pay for 3 extra staff members. They do. So there were some discrepancies, but his job is to advocate on behalf of the First Ward. Leon, where you at? Because you're not advocating for them. So those were simple issues. Since you're the great negotiator, you're the one who postponed it. That wasn't I who did that. That was you who did that. So get your lies together, because I'm not going to let you lie on me. When the video showed you was the one who put on in the postpone indefinitely. So stop the lying, Leon. You did that. We didn't do that. So when you are advocating, because we know that I wish he had the will to do what was right. Just like when he brought it for Beverly Biggs and he rolled that back. He rolled it back. He couldn't stand on what his vote was. He rolled it back. We look at him with this. He puts the blame on everyone but himself when it comes to accountability. Accountability is not something he's comfortable with. My colleagues, no, it was you. You. It was not your colleagues. Some of the things which are simple. Let's get a 1 year for each year for a 12-month period, $1,2,500 occurrence. You're employing people here because the city of Flint does not pay for any of their staffing. It comes from a senior millage over at the county. The senior millage, they're in good standing with the state and with the county. They were just awarded their millage. I think they are tier 2. They were awarded the millage was $137,000. They were just awarded that. And so, Leon, this was your ward. You told your colleagues in the field, you put that on the table. You put it on the table. We did not. Video shows it. And so if they're saying, okay, and they've been asking to go back to the table, I think since August, to go back to the table. Let's look at a couple things. And that hasn't happened. What he has just did is waved the little white flag and said, hey, I'm done. His new management is gone. What y'all gonna do? We done. And so when we look at that his willingness and his quickness to be done with it is a problem. When you advocate for your community, you're visible. When you advocate for your community, you show up. When you advocate with all of the things that they have had to help save Hasselbrink and his current management, who has showed up? Who has showed up? They had the overnight thing. Where was Leon? They've had the protests. Where was Leon? Where has Leon been in advocating for his ward? When you say you support something, it will require your presence at times, not just you verbalizing it. But that ain't even true, because once he won the election, that whole conversation flipped. So it doesn't just require your verbiage or you writing a letter. It may require your presence. Hasselbrink is one of the issues that requires your presence. It requires your presence. Where is he advocating? He didn't say, look, it's management, it's gone. Nothing I can do. It's gone. This wouldn't be happening if Councilman Mays was here. Hasselbrink would be sold off if it wasn't for Councilman Mays. Hasselbrink wouldn't even be here. And underneath Mayor Williamson, he was able to get the doors unlocked, the chains removed, and open the facility back up. Underneath having a nonprofit to management, the city said, hey, we're out the business. We're under emergency management. We're out the business of doing any of the senior centers because we don't have it in our budget. Our budget is about $60 million, and another $60 or $70 million is from grants. So we don't even have enough in our general fund to maintain the services in the city. We do not. But how do you be in the first ward and don't advocate? I'm not understanding. I'm not. So I do want to say this, we're going to move on. Be there Monday morning. Can you put the flyer back up, please, Producer Jay? Be there, please, not Monday morning, Monday at 5 o'clock. And I welcome everybody to come. You don't have to be from Flint to support. One thing that we know is that when the community shows up, that you forcing their voices to listen to you. And not just that it is constant. Show up when you can. You know, you got to want it so much to where you can't sit down because this country is changing. So special council meeting, calling all council seniors. This was initiated by the senior most councilwoman, Jerry Winfrey Carter. The meeting is going to be at 5 o'clock. It's going to be at the Flint City Council chambers on the 3rd floor. Afterwards, there will be food at Hasselbrink Center. I would like to see people who, if you claim you care, show up. You can't care and never show up. Leon, show us that you care and show up. This is your community. Those people elected you. Show up. You now serve that entire First Ward. Although it is a facility that is funded by county millage dollars, it is located in the First Ward. We need you to show up. Show up. So Monday, 5 o'clock, and afterwards there will be food at the Hasselbrink Center. There will be food. I mean, I mean this. Quit letting people tell you that they support you and don't show up for you. You can't do that. This is something that requires his presence to be there. It requires his presence. Big Daddy said he is trying to fool the residents with that cool demeanor. Stop it, bro. Listen, we just played the videotape where he said that it was his colleagues and it wasn't. It was him. It was him. He lied on his colleagues. And then to try to have that smooth voice. Well, you know, thank God we have video, which also showed you didn't press that button for that mic. You didn't ask to get Davina's attention, and she stated it on record that you didn't. So, and that is a fact. So I do want to commend, can we put up the ordinance to Bethel United Church? Bethel and St. Mark have been important. First, can you put the short up? You did a short, and Producer Jay, I've had people say that they like your shorts and that we should do more shorts. After those meetings, I have PTSD, y'all. So we have got the money, which is for food access for our community. We know with the high price of food and access to food, and living in a food desert and having food insecurities, that having food for our community is important. It's 2 resolutions that I work with Emily Dorr on because we had food access. I'm like, well, why do we let our community go hungry? They ran out of money in September. Working with Emily Dorr, who is no longer with our city. And with Nick, I want to give Nick a shout out. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Nick. So 2 resolutions that went up, one for St. Mark and the other one's for Bethel. I had on the community conversation with Carol and Steph, had them on, and then last week, and then I had them on, was it this week? Was it last week? Look, y'all, I don't remember. I had them on last week too. They had them on, I think, Wednesday, and I had Pastor Thompson on. And also Mr. Harold Wilson was on. So let's play the short. This is Pastor Thompson of St. Mark, a Missionary Baptist Church, corner of McClellan and DuPont, who serves this community. Can we play the short, please? We have about $700,000 that is available to feed the community. And we have council members who vote no, who have voted no, who have turned it down because they make it personal. That to me is inexcusable. It should not be happening. So you don't have to call names because I put it up as soon as it was done. I may have put it up at the meeting when they said no, but I put it up on my social media. So Liddell Lewis voted no. You reside in the 2nd ward, and I don't need you to speak on. Let me do it. Candace Michat voted no on feeding the community. We had Judy Priestley voted no on feeding the community to St. Mark. Leon L. Alameen was not there. So we have, you serve a predominantly, you have all people come through that line because I've been there. But you are in a predominantly 96% Black part of where St. Mark's is located. And we have Black council people who don't support the effort to feed the community. Y'all, listen, I'm going to keep putting that resolution up. It's going to be reconsidered to the end of time. St. Mark's has not been approved. I will say, Bethel, and this was giving me, I almost send this out to Emily Dorr. Thank you before you left. Thank you and Nick for working with me and making sure that we get this done. This is when we work and get stuff done right. Bethel United Church received $50,000. It was approved for $50,000 so that and food access to feed the community. 8 members voted, 8-0. Everyone came together for Bethel. We need to do the same for St. Mark. We need to do the same. There is money in there. We should not allow our community to go hungry when we have the funds, but not the will. 8 of us voted on that council to approve Bethel United Methodist Church for $50,000. On Mondays, they give the food giveaway. They Tuesdays through Thursday, there's COVID testing, flu testing, cholesterol testing, blood pressure testing, and sugar or insulin testing Tuesday through Friday. Monday is for food. And I want to thank my colleagues for all working together to approve this. Bethel was finally approved. Bethel was approved. It received 8 votes. When we don't do right, we need to call them out. When we do right, I'm going to put it up. So Bethel was approved. It received unanimously, the city council voted to approve. Now we need to get approved St. Mark. St. Mark is another one and they're feeding, that money right now. And people are like, oh, well, they get other money. You cannot commingle funds. Their food fund, they don't have it. They don't. And they feed people, So this is the resolution, general fund for St. Mark. We need to get that approved. I'm going to keep putting it up. I'm going to keep talking about it. It's located in the 2nd ward. When it's in your ward, advocate for it. You don't have to like the people. I'm going to tell you, it's a whole lot of people may have something to say. I'm going to support my ward. I get people who have a problem, even in my ward, some of the ones who the mayor has tainted. The mayor is good at tainting people, dividing people, and just doing it. He's good at that. Councilman, you should join. I could join you on YouTube or Facebook. How can I ask? Listen, Commissioner Del Rico Lloyd, Producer Jay, maybe do I need to, Commissioner Lloyd,
I've sent him everything, so it's in his inbox if he wants to really come on.
It's in his inbox on Facebook.
Yep.
Maybe he can send me, Commissioner Lloyd, can you text me your email and I'll send over to you, Producer Jay. And y'all, my stomach is growling like it was at court. It is growling. So if you can text me your email and I'll send it to him. So I do want to say, I'm gonna keep putting up. Hey, Gifted Tea from Tennessee and everyone else on there. St. Mark's until we approve it. I'm not going to when we have the money, but not the will. We all know that Councilwoman Liddell Lewis, and this is where we show that there's people who are partial. She did have a problem with the pastor, and I'm gonna go back to where the problem was. The problem, and it's so petty. She got upset because he had thanked me on a podcast. She was in Maryland. He said, "I just want to say thank you to Councilwoman Burns for getting me the papers when people had the basins was flooded with urine and feces because of the pump station number 5 had become overwhelmed and people had water in their house." There was a gentleman going around. He went to every news station till they heard him. And it was actually on the news, and he came to council. I was out one day and I actually taking people the forms because people needed the forms because we had an unusual amount of rain and people needed forms. I had them run them off at the counseling office, and I went to drop them off. He called me and he said, "Hey, how do I get the forms?" I've had some of my parishioners, people who go to his church, members who needed them. I said, well, I have some. I said, "Where are you at? I'll drop them off." Well, he was at McLaren to see, sick and the shut-ins. He was at McLaren Hospital. I said, well, you know what? I'm not too far. Can you come, to the front? You can come out. I got them. I'll give it to you. I gave him some so he can give to his church members. That's what you're supposed to do. I mean, she wasn't in town, so you're not in town. I don't have no problem making sure the community gets what they need. So he was on the podcast, and the podcast, he said, I just want to say thank you to Councilwoman Burns. She was Johnny on the spot. I appreciate her helping my church members. They wanted to say thank you. She called to him, and afterwards, you there, and his phone was on speaker. She went on, disrespectful, cussed him out. F you, shots fired. You a fake A pastor. And this man serves this community in so many different ways. F you, you ain't shots fired. You are the council president, and this is what you're doing? Come on. All he did was thank me. You weren't there. That was it. Don't that uncalled for, unprofessional. If I am absent and I can't do my duty, or I can't, I'm a hope, and I believe I know some of my council members would in my absence do what needs to be done. Dennis Pfeiffer, and it's funny because I wasn't thinking, Dennis Pfeiffer used to show up at all my meetings, and he would show up. Dennis would support. Jonathan support. JWC, she shows up, and I think we should be more like together. I know in my absence, if anybody calls me from any ward and they need help, it is a lot quicker for me to take and shoot the email and make the call than it does for me to shoot the email to do that. That's just how it is. Sometimes it's quicker to take care of the issue. And I do it all the time. I had 3 water main breaks. None of them was in my ward last week. None of them. And we have had unseasonably high water main breaks, which we average about 250. So, then the second part, Pastor Townsend was at the library. Security had to come out. She came out and cussed them out. They were passing. She cussed him out and said, and again, shots fired, you a fake A. Just no respect for Pastor Thompson. But she's done this before. She did to Maurice Davis. She's cussed out Dennis Pfeiffer. She cussed me out, called me a bitch. She cussed out, Woodson and her do go back and forth, whatever that little thing is. She's cussed him out. I mean, she's just disrespectful. She throws out residents. But the thing is, this is in her ward. She should be supporting this. So even if she has a problem, you still have got Candace Mushat, Judy Priestley, and Leon. Leon was not there for that vote, but they should be voting for it. Let her have her problem. But because they riding with her and they in the clique, this is when the clique is dangerous. The clique is dangerous because this clique is saying we riding with Liddell, and because Liddell ain't riding, we not gonna do it. That is a problem because the clique she riding with, Candace and Judy, is saying, and they said it, they voted no. It's on the record. It's on video. Candace and Judy voted no for St. Mark because of Liddell. That clique riding together. This is why cliques are dangerous. They're dangerous. So, Miss B. Diane, why don't you make it? So listen, I'm gonna keep putting it up. I want them to consider it because it's a huge need in this community. Again, people have food insecurities. There's a lack of food access to food, and we live in a food desert here. You don't have access to the things, and food is high. And look, I told you, them eggs is like a delicacy. I'm allergic to them. So I ain't troubled about, look, your girl's not eating no omelet because I can't. So y'all got them high-priced omelets. Eggs used to be cheap. Not anymore. They are considered a delicacy almost. So listen, producer Jake, so people have seen, I don't know if you've seen, Commissioner Lloyd is trying to get in. He says he's awaiting the Facebook invite. Oh, it's not Facebook, it is YouTube. That's why. So he needs his email.
Can we have a conversation about this offline, please?
Can we mute it for just, can you let me, well, how do you want to do that? I don't even know how we do that. Do I need to call you on my other phone?
Hold on.
Can we take a pause for the calls?
Hold on.
Somebody put it, Jay said eggs is $9.
So while we're playing this, while we're having this brief conversation, they can go ahead and send their donations in, their tithes and offering in for the week, and we're gonna have a conversation, and we're gonna come back.
Okay. And I'll mute.
Want to grow your business? Advertise with the Tanya Burns Show and unleash your brand's potential. Contact us today for advertising rates. Call 810-354-5843. That's 810-354-5843 or email hcrcga@gmail.com.
Okay. Let me mute me back.
Want to grow your business? Advertise with the Tanya Burns Show and unleash your brand's potential. Contact us today for advertising rates. Call 810-354-5843. That's 810-354-5843 or email hcrcga@gmail.com.
Okay, so we have sidebar. So Commissioner Lloyd, it has been sent to your county email. It's been sent to your county email and to your Facebook account. And it looks like it has, it shows you on Facebook that it's on there to click that link. So it's on your Facebook, it's been sent to your Facebook and to your county email. So maybe you need to log into your county email and click the link. I think we're using StreamYard, which is just like Zoom. So if you click on that, so he sent it to you, I think two different ways. So it should be on there. So it's on there. He said you did look at it. So it's on there. So, I mean, I welcome people, just like we had Clack come in so we can have respectful dialogue. He said he wanted to come on, and Commissioner Lloyd is more than welcome to come on. I didn't write the article. I just read it. So if he wants to explain the article that was written, well, actually it was 2 by Ron Fonger. I'm perfectly fine with that. We can have an adult conversation. So you are more than welcome to we can have respectful dialogue. You wanted to explain. I am 100% for that. So Producer Jay, we said we weren't going to be on all day. So are we going ahead to, y'all listen.
And I just put the link in the link to the live in the comment. So, I mean. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, so Commissioner Lloyd, the link is in the comments also. So you can click on that link and you can join us. I would love to have you on. I mean, Ron Fonger wrote that article, and I would love to have you on, Commissioner Lloyd, to speak with us. Because if I believe in fair across the board. Just like we had Michael Clack on. You are welcome to come on to speak. He has texted me. If you want to go, you got the links. It's up to you. You're welcome. And I will always be respectful. We have always had respectful dialogue, you and I. So here's your opportunity. So I would love to have you on. So are we doing call-ins today? Producer Jay. We can if you want to.
Okay, let's do some. So listen, we need y'all to get that meeting. And if Stephanie, look, y'all, I got the fan. Where them fans at?
Okay, I got your guest. I'm about to bring him in.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Hello. Hey, Commissioner Lloyd. Look, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Good. I see a nice little fern plant behind you. Looks healthy. I don't have a healthy plant in my house.
Yeah, I wish it were mine. I'm actually at the hospital, a family member of mine had some heart surgery, and
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
I was actually flipping through a few shows and such on social media. You know how you do when you're waiting, and took a look at your show as I often do. I appreciate that you share awesome information, and I thought it important to step out in the wait area and to jump on just to chat.
Well, all right. Well, the prayers to your family member. Heart surgery is serious. Wishing you blessings. And a lot of people don't know you are a minister also.
Yes, yes.
And so you, I believe, is associate minister at, I'm having a brain freeze. I'm sorry.
Christian Church, former pastor ministries on Center Road as well.
Was it Ebenezer? It was Ebenezer, was it? Oh,
yeah, it was Ebenezer and Triumph Church. It was a partnership between the two.
Okay, very well. So one of the things that came up, because yes, I did have questions. It is Black History Month. And one thing that Ron Fungar wrote the 2 articles. He wrote in the articles in regards to who voted for, it was a question about the diversity, equity, and inclusion, and that Sean Shoemaker did not, support it. The first thing was the second one. So I want to give you the opportunity to explain. Is he gone?
I think we lost him.
Okay.
Apologies, it's the internet connection.
Oh, I got some of the worst internet here. Okay. So I want to give you Ron Fungar wrote 2 articles. It was diversity, equity, and inclusion. We're doing Black History Month. I believe it was tied together. There was some controversy over that first article, so the second one was written. So I am a Black woman. I am unapologetically Black, not changing that. Ron Fungar felt the need to put it in there, who voted and how they voted.
Sure.
So I'm gonna give you the flow.
Yeah.
The flow.
First of all, I appreciate you sharing your platform in this moment so that clarity can be provided. You know, especially in this political climate, there are so many that are not open to accurate information and information for the public. We live in a time, you know, where there's so many narratives. A lot of times people are looking for an opportunity for you and I and others to slip, to do something so that we can jump on it as the, aha, I told you Tanya wasn't for the people or Del Rico wasn't for the people.
Oh, I get that all the time.
And then if we insert present and future, I'm already getting a word from people. You know, if you're running for mayor, they're going to say you don't live here. They're going to say you don't care for the people. And I'm waiting for folks to do that if I decide to run. That's not a decision that I made. But specifically as it relates to this particular issue.
Well, there are several people who are saying that they want to run for mayor, not just you. I think it's about 5 people.
Oh,
So,
absolutely. I think
yeah.
I actually believe all that believe that they've been called to serve this community in that way, that feel compelling to do so. You know, the seat doesn't belong to any one person, man or female.
That I agree. I agree. So let's get back to Sean Shoemaker, diversity, equity, because 2 articles. I read the news. I'm used to old news. Well, I wish we still had print newspapers because I like to read. I like to put my hands like on a book.
So a couple things, you know, for those who may not know, for the remainder of the year, I serve as the chairman of the Genesee County Board of Commissioners. And any good chair, if you know, has the responsibility of not just navigating the policies and the priorities that we have, but also managing, navigating, cultivating the relationships amongst their board. And I think, you know, that we do a good job of that at Genesee County, and we have our challenges like everybody else, but we're not absent those instances where there may be philosophical disagreements or differences in perspective. I encourage my colleagues to respect our differences. We're not going to fight and argue and cuss and get in each other's face. You know, my perspective is mine. I'm entitled to it. I come from my district, and this is the answer to what you're asking. And just as those that I may disagree with or not. And so on this particular issue about DEI, what has been expressed publicly and what's been reported on is that one of my colleagues has a perspective that for his, he believes that the DEI Commission and Genesee County's commitment is not where he thinks it should be. I happen to disagree with that. He also believes that the DEI Commission can be more diverse in their work. I don't currently sit on the DEI Commission. So,
who sits on the DEI Commission?
It's across.
Well,
I don't have a list with me. I know the late, great Miss Raynetta Speed was a part of that commission before she passed. Commissioner Charles Winfrey was appointed by the previous chair of the Genesee County Commission to sit there. And then Commissioner Sean Shoemaker was appointed to sit there on behalf of the commission. I know Dr. Kent Key, who I have a long-lasting and close relationship with. He was there. He's there. And then we have staffed as a part of our county commission office that supports that work. Genesee County, we have an unwavering to diversity, equity, and inclusion. We included in our contracts. We have statements. And so that has not changed. And so what happened, to fast forward, is that Commissioner Dale Wayhill brought a resolution just to commemorate Black History Month, which we all support. Black History Month, we celebrate it, we honor the shoulders that we stand on, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's very, very important. So he authored a resolution, brought it so that we can commemorate Black History Month. In that resolution was a whereas section or paragraph that says, hey, Genesee County is committed to to diversity, equity, inclusion. We have the DEI Commission, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It was maybe 2.5 lines, two or three lines. And so what happened was amidst the first article that Ron Fonger wrote, okay, when Sean Shoemaker expressed his sentiment. He never said in this article, I think we need to exclude people and so on and so forth, okay? In the first article, after that article, his family got calls, our office got an overabundance of calls, his job got an overabundance of calls where people were calling for him to be terminated from his job called him in. And I don't know what those conversations were. His family got calls. And so it turned into a discussion where people interpreted the article as him suggesting, I don't think we should be diverse. If he says that, I'll be the first one to say, no, man, I don't agree with that. No, we don't do that here at Genesee County. We don't do it in Genesee County.
DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion is being diverse.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, it is. So he did state that he did not support that. He also made the statement that he never felt, and these were his words, that he never felt that he was included. So that kind of made me think that it was maybe like a reverse discrimination.
Nope.
Let me finish. This is my dialogue. I listened to you. That where was he coming? Because one article, when the articles came, and then so it was almost like the second one was a retraction, almost. And so if you're not voting for diversity, equity, and inclusion, then you're not supporting it.
Yeah, so here's the deal. We know that, and I'm sure it's probably happened to you just as every person who's been quoted in the paper. And this is not a carrying of his water, but let me be clear just on this point, that there's more that I share with Ron Fonger when he called me, and that wasn't included in the article, okay?
Okay.
The other thing that I would suggest is we've had an entire committee meeting where there's been discussion. The detail of that in its entirety is not in the article. And we had a probably 20-minute or more discussion in our board meeting the other night, and all of that was not included in the article either. So let's be clear, the article is a snapshot of what that publisher, that writer, who I have great respect for, a snapshot of what he included in our article. I'm here because you're able to hear right from the horse's mouth more of the totality of what that discussion was. And certainly if anybody wants to fact check my suggestions, our meetings are on YouTube as well. In our meetings, what Commissioner Shoemaker communicated was that, and there were variant agreements or disagreements amongst our board, was that he believed, his perspective was that the DEI Commission was not being as inclusive as he thinks it should be. We can go into the detail of what he's talking about, and so on and so forth. I don't disagree that on every front we can be as diverse, that we can always strengthen diversity, right? And our approach to that is Genesee County. Every day we're looking for ways to include more people and so on and so forth. Now, whether or not his comments had other tones, he never expressed, or I would have been the first person to say, raise issue with it, that we should exclude anybody. What he said was that I'm on the DEI commission and I feel like it only caters to certain groups and we need to bring more people in. So let's go to the resolution. So Delway Hill wrote the resolution about Black History Month, which we all support, the commemorative resolution. And in his resolution, he had a line in it that says Genesee County is committed to DEI and so on and so forth, and which I certainly support. And so the day of our meeting, after Commissioner Shoemaker received so much pushback and almost lost his job, et cetera, about his position was, I want to vote on this resolution, but I don't want to vote on it with that paragraph in it, which all of us are like, well, no, we're going to have a resolution.
Okay, which paragraph?
The paragraph that spoke to
the DEI?
Genesee County's commitment to DEI. Again, the county is committed to that. It's on our website, it's in our policies, it's in our contract. So, anybody that suggests, hey, and I'm the chair of Genesee County Commission, okay? If anybody suggests Del Rico doesn't support or the county doesn't support DEI, that's not true. You can pull up our policies, our ordinances, our contracts. So that's not even a question. Look at me. Okay, I'm the benefit from, in many instances, of being included in spaces that our ancestors and our forefathers weren't included in. I'm the benefit.
Okay, so he said this. He says, no, hold on, because you're talking. I know you're a pastor. Pastors can keep going.
But you got to let me play. You got to let
I
me.
I do, but I want to tell you because I'm gonna put just a quick pin. You've been going for minutes. So he did state, as someone who sat on the committee for years, I've asked the chair to replace me on the board because I feel there is nothing diverse about the board. Shoemaker said that's a direct quote. So I mean, I'm looking at, and I only pulled out quotes from Ron Fongers. He says, I've never felt included when I walk into that board. He said, when I walk into the board, I've never felt my views were valued.
So I'm not. It's not.
You did just defend him. You did.
Come on.
You did.
Burns,
and then he called himself a conservative. But go ahead. I'm gonna let you go because I watched him at the Republican Party, and I was shocked.
Okay.
And not only shocked. And let me say this: I listened to him talk about food access. I felt he was passionate when he talked about it, about feeding our seniors. I was actually on a case with Sean Shoemaker when I had to sue the county clerk, and we both won because we had omitted something on a document. So I'm not new to this, but I'm gonna speak what the truth is. I mean,
what the truth for Del Rico? That's what I came to speak.
Right, but you were defending him, and that's what I'm saying.
So I was giving you context to lead you to the two resolutions.
Okay, you got the floor. I'm gonna let you go. You got it.
Okay, because
you're my guest. Go ahead.
That's what you spoke about. Because here's the deal: I'm not Sean Shoemaker. I'm not elected by his constituents. I don't carry his water. I don't have a history. One second. I don't have a history in our community of carrying anybody's water. I'm my own man. I'm not in anybody's pocket. I don't have an entourage. I don't walk around with a camp of people following me. So I speak for Del Rico Lloyd and I speak for my constituents. I can't speak for him. What I'm talking about is what you spoke of, which is the resolutions that we raised. And I'm making the point, because I don't want to get lost in our back and forth, that if I hear anybody say that I want to exclude people in this community, I'll be the first to have an issue with that. He suggested that he was being excluded from the discussion. I haven't been in that meeting. So what I do know is the people on that commission, they're great people who I support, who I have total confidence in. As a matter of fact, Councilwoman, for clarity for the public, in our meeting, which wasn't in the newspaper, I also said to my colleagues in the public that I'm going to be meeting with the leadership of the DEI Commission. That's this coming Monday at 5:30. And I'm meeting with them not only to celebrate the great work that they've done and the commitment that they had and to reinforce Genesee County's commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. But the purpose of this meeting on Monday is also so that we can brainstorm how we can become even more inclusive as a county. That's the facts. So when we come to, so anybody suggests, well, Del Rico voted on a resolution, you don't support DEI, that's just not true.
No, that's not what was said that you, but that's not what was said. You voted, well, there was two resolutions.
Two resolutions. I supported
two articles.
And I supported both resolutions. And let me tell you why I supported
So
both.
what was the difference between the first resolution and the second one? And what was the difference?
Okay, great question. So the first resolution was in its original form that Del Wayhill authored, okay? And that was, commemorating Black History Month. It had probably like 8 paragraphs in the 8 whereas, if you will. One whereas says, whereas Genesee County is committed to diversity, equity, inclusion, and our DEI commission, and so on and so forth. So here's the sequence of events. So we come out of committee meeting. We're on the night of the meeting. There's been conversation where I'm, trying to maintain peace and decorum on our board as the chair. That's my job. And so that includes me calling different commission members to say, hey, listen, Sean's had these attacks on his job. He's called the chair of the board and asked, can he have a moment to make some comments at the beginning of the meeting? Hey, what is you all's thoughts? So I got different perspective. Folks say, hey, we don't have an issue with that. And so the other piece is I got with Commissioner Shoemaker and I says, so help me understand the statements that you plan to make. Because if there was something he suggested that was super inflammatory, I was going to communicate to him, hey, you can anticipate certain reaction, but I'm also make sure that the board knows that this is what the nature of the discussion is going to be. That's chairman stuff. That.
Well, what is the difference in between the two resolutions?
So Del Wayhill's
those were his comments. Yeah. And I get that, and I feel he should explain, and giving him grace to explain how he feels. Absolutely,
exactly, because his constituents in the general public need to know, hey, what's your perspective? He had a few conversations with me as chair, both the day before, that day of. He expressed some things that I said, hey, you didn't say that last time we had a meeting. You need to tell the people you believe people shouldn't be excluded from the laws and et cetera, and you have your religious beliefs and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's for him to communicate. So he did a statement, all of that. So when it came time for our vote, then we passed the resolution in its entirety. Because again, keep in mind, these are commemorative resolutions. There's no resources tied to them, no policy tied to them. We already have policies in place. So we passed that resolution as a board. Sean Shoemaker did not support that resolution.
Resolution number 1, right?
Resolution number 1. And this is that he gave. He said, because I don't believe, and you folks can go back and watch the tape. He says, I don't believe, I'm paraphrasing, that the DEI commission is as diverse as you should be. It's only certain demographics represented. There's not a Jew represented. There's not conservative white men represented. He named a list of people that he felt like should be represented. He said, and at this time, this is his words, not mine, I want to be able to vote to support a resolution commemorating Black History Month, but I have concerns about the way the commission operates, DEI, and I want to be able to take that portion out of the second resolution. He has a stack of resolution in his hand because he says, I want it to be on record that I support Black History Month. So let's talk about, and so then Commissioner Winfrey, who I enjoy serving with, great respect. I call him OG. I mean, that's my guy. We were seatmates. He's an awesome guy and doing great work as a senior member of our board. And so then he made some statements, but keep in mind, that was after there had been a 20-minute back and forth discussion of all commissioners making their points known. And me simply just...
So I want to put in real quick, Commissioner Winfrey said, Flint was among Commissioner Winfrey was among commissioners who withheld his support for Shoemaker's version of the resolution. If people of color and other protected groups had been treated with dignity and respect throughout the history of this country, there would be no need for diversity, equity, inclusion, or Black History Month, said Winfrey, who served for 10 years in Flint City government, including as diversity and equity gender. I voted to have the DEI commission. I sit on the DEI commission, and I'm not going to denigrate the Diversity Equity Commission by supporting the motion, Winfrey said.
So that is Commissioner Winfrey's comments in that meeting based on his perspective of the discussion that had already ensued. Okay.
Is this the first resolution or the second one?
This is the second resolution. We've already passed this first resolution. So I've already voted for Black History Month and a statement that Delway Hill wrote. This is a statement he wrote, saying, hey, Genesee County, we support DEI, DEI, et cetera, et cetera. That's in our policies. I've already been through that. It's in our contracts, et cetera, et cetera. So that's the policy, official policy to Genesee County. So when he said Shoemaker, and I'm the chair, okay, and I believe in respecting people's differences as long as you're not hurting people and excluding people. That's how I do. That's how I operate. That's how I was raised. Okay. What he said was, I want to be able to support the resolution that supports Black History Month, but I have issues with this. I've already stated what it was, and I have a second resolution that does not have that paragraph in it that I would like to pass so I can support Black History Month. So for me, now I'm talking about Del Rico now. Okay. For me, because I'm accountable to the people. All right. I've shown throughout my entire career and time in civic service, public service, that I support all people and particularly our people. So, anybody who's followed me all of these years, say I was late for dinner, but don't say I don't support our people. I've pastored our people. I've led our people. I've advocated for our people. At the UAW, I'm doing it every day.
Well, I think that people came into question because when we look at it and the people depend, I get the two articles. I don't think people were questioning you. You cannot change. You a Black man. I've always said I cannot change. I'm a Black woman. You're gonna see that before I open my mouth. But I think absolutely, and I'm unapologetically Black.
Absolutely.
So for me, I think people were saying maybe in our comments and looking at, people were saying, when you to be the vice chair, you supported 3 Republicans, and then Del Kenneth Wayhill for you to be the vice chair, so that you kind of had a allegiance to Shoemaker.
No, that's not fair to say that, because
no, I'm just saying what the public. I mean, this is why I want you to answer.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. Couple things. One is this, and I'll make it quick. Number one, what I'm committed to is what people hear me talk about all across this community, and you said it: civility, professionalism, and collaboration in politics. I represent that. I don't waver. You don't see me fighting with people and doing all of that kind of stuff. I don't do that. I keep the main thing, and that's about the people. And so, yes, our leadership vote on the commission had a split vote, and this is why. Because some of my colleagues who voted for the other person who did not become chair, that person asked them before I asked them. Because I didn't start engaging and asking for votes until 2 people approached me, a Democrat and a Republican, and said, Del Rico, we know that you may not be interested, but we think you should be chair because we believe you as chair will ensure that every voice on this commission is heard. You've demonstrated, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I won't go on and on, that I have the ability to keep a group together and to get the work done, keep the main thing. So what happened was, I did not have to promise anybody anything to become chair. You had a Republican on our board that went to other Republicans and said, Del Rico is fair with everybody. There were the only 2 new people elected. And they said, I believe you should support Del Rico, and these are the reasons why. I had one meeting with those guys, and those guys believed and they supported my desire to, have a productive civil and professional body of leaders, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'll spell it. But let me be clear. Commissioner Winfrey and Commissioner Avery, they did not vote for me because they thought I couldn't do a good job. I didn't approach them first. And so, yes, there were Democrats and Republicans that
support. And then I think Dr. Brown's on there too.
Yeah, well, she was the other that was seeking the chairmanship, which she was able to do, right? But you all know, because you're on city council and I've been on city council, so it's no shade. I've been there. I've been in multiple rounds of votes on the city council. I know how it works. But I was elected chair of the county commission in 1 vote, 1 round of votes. And then a Republican was elected in 1 round of votes. And then I, as chair, appointed Democrats and Republicans as chairs and vice chairs. Wherever there's a Dem, there's a Republican as a vice. Wherever there's a Republican chair, there's a Dem. And people there are some that says, "Oh, well, he's just doing that because he's running for mayor." No, I'm doing that because our
Well,
community.
look, are you running for mayor? I mean, I'm gonna ask you the questions.
Let me tell you something. And I don't give political answers. I started at 22. I'm 39 now. I'm old. Okay. And
No, I'm 56. I'm old. Stop.
hey,
I got a daughter almost your age. Okay.
but we're talking about diversity. You're one of our beautiful, and I mean that, respectful Black sisters who's doing dynamic things and leading the community. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not. When my mother has a birthday, I don't say she's whatever years old. I say, because I call her girl. I said, girl, you 40 something years better, right? So you 56 years better. But my point was, they did not support me for that. It was one round of votes. And what I wanted to do was set forth a model of leadership, not just for, people just focus on Flint, but in Genesee County, we have 11 cities, 7 townships, and 5 villages that's under the jurisdiction that I now lead, right? And they have their own challenges and issues that I also have to engage in because I'm the chair of the county. We don't have
So his thing, I do want to say this in all fairness. Shoemaker said that his comments about the DEI. Hold on, Commissioner Lloyd, because it went out. No, I do want Shoemaker said, because I want to be fair to him. Shoemaker said his comments about the county's DEI efforts resulted in a hostile social media backlash and his family members, and an email was sent to his employer, labeling him a racist, misogynist, and a bigot. All this simply because I spoke up and said, I don't think we're living up to what this board has and our principles of the DEI. He has also stated that he is a conservative. Man. He stated he stated he was the only conservative man that was actually on the board in his statements, which we have conservatives. I mean, we just elected a conservative to the White House. And I mean, we have to.
Yeah, he's talking about the DEI commission.
He talked. These were, I'm reading his statements because I don't want to misconstrue or to paraphrase his words. And these were his direct quotes. Shoemaker said his comments about the DEI, all the same, but he stated he's a conservative man. I mean, that the country voted for a conservative man, Trump, and now those people are upset because they don't want Trump because they think he's too. You got ICE, you got things are changing. We got the Gulf of America that used to be the Gulf of Mexico.
The stuff that's happening in this country is absolutely terrible. And as far as I'm concerned, as chair of Genesee County Board of Commission, there's no room for that in our county. It's no room for it. And here's the deal, there's a majority on my board. We're not going to stand for it. And I wouldn't stand for, Commissioner Winfrey made a statement, in our meeting the other night. He says, hey, I think this is, he used an adjective, and Shoemaker, got fired up and, went to express himself in a way, and immediately, and I'll send you the clip directly, Councilwoman Burns, but immediately I said, wait a minute, hold on a second. No, we don't do that over here at Genesee County. We're not.
Let me say this, because you keep saying we don't fight. What do you think we got where we at if we don't fight? Everybody want all this peace and harmony, and it ain't always peace and harmony.
You know what I'm talking about.
We know our history, because if we don't speak up, we get ran over.
Yeah.
And I don't care if it's at the council. I was the only Black woman to own an ADT dealership and franchise in America in 3 states. And as a Black woman, a mom, and married, they looked at my race. And when you don't speak up and everything, I got to get along with you. I don't believe in all of that. I don't dislike Sean. Let me say this. I don't dislike Shoemaker. Mm-hmm. Shoemaker has a right to be a conservative man with his views and with his religion. I listened to him speak on how he feels about the LGBTQIA. Now, I was shocked. I don't think that people wake up and say, I'm going to be gay today, and I don't believe you can beat the gay out somebody and all of that. I don't believe in that. I listened to his comments. He has a right to be conservative. Yeah. I listened to him also state about the food in our community. And when he stated that he was passionate, and I was sitting there, you were chairing, you chair a good meeting. I want for me, not for you. You say we don't fight, we don't go. That ain't Tanya Burns. Yeah, sometimes you have got to fight.
Yeah, absolutely. let me tell you something. When the truck plant didn't go out on their strike with General Motors, because I was at the table helping orchestrate that strategy, and I said that Flint cannot experience having those thousands of people out on the job. You saw every truck plant in America for GM, Ford, and Chrysler went out on strike, except the truck plant in Flint. That was because
truck assembly on Vance Light.
The truck assembly. And here's the deal. So when we talk about fight, you know, I'm in fights every day advocating for millions of people that are part of UAW retirees every day. I believe that there should be a fight. Martin King lost his life fighting for people, right? I mean, come on, Jesus Christ fighting for souls of people. But here's the thing. And I admire the fight that you have in you. A lot of times when there's a fight, there's somebody that's on the right side and somebody's on the wrong side. So let me be clear. Del Rico's not afraid of a fight. I'm in fights all of the time, right?
You don't support us on Hasselbrink?
Oh, I've been supporting y'all on Hasselbrink.
We need you to show up. I just spoke about presence. We need your presence.
Listen,
your presence is, it's needed.
My presence is needed, and there's going to come a time when if it's not resolved at the city, I know it's coming to the county because we had a contract with the vendor, and we approved the senior millage funds, and there's going to be a decision
in September. Yes.
And here's the deal: if a lease isn't put in place at the city, and the seniors come, you're hearing it first. Here's your exclusive, and the seniors come to Genesee County, okay? If it's, and I said this to the mayor as well. We've had multiple back and forths. He's around the city doing to me like he does to let me there's a lot's been said negative about Del Rico that's unfounded. Let me just say it that way.
I mean, you're a politician. You're gonna get
No, I don't mind.
Yeah.
Because,
and then you're with the union.
Yeah, I don't mind.
I don't know how you keep that balance of being a pastor.
Oh yeah, I don't mind when you've been called to it. God give you the grace to be able to balance it all. To be honest with you, but I don't mind the attacks. Because at the end of the day, I believe it ain't a show. People can go back and watch me when I was 22 years old. I was the same Del Rico, except more mature, may have learned just a little bit more, but there's still a lot I don't know. But I don't mind the attacks because the consistency of how I treat people, how I stand up for people, how I advocate for people, that is what speaks for me with the majority when the minority are coming after me looking for my foot to slip. You know what I mean? I'm not perfect. None of us are, but I'm not in this for the money or the resources or the titles. I've had it. I'm in it because I truly just want to make the community better. My family's here. Y'all know my story about being adopted. That ain't no show. This is who I didn't grow up in the pulpit. I grew up in the hood on West Ridgeway, 401 to be exact. Holla at your boy. You understand what I'm saying? And so that's why we do it. But Hasselbrink, I've been engaging on this in different spaces. Miss Beverly Lewis, we talked a couple of days ago. We've been talking the last couple of weeks even more. And if I'm put in a position where I have to make a decision between supporting the city of Flint or a plan from the mayor's office or whoever and supporting the seniors of this community, my choice is clear. I support the seniors. And I see you doing that, Councilwoman Burns. I see that you and Councilwoman Winfrey is going to be having
Winfrey Carter. She has
excuse me.
She tells everybody.
Yeah, the special meeting about the resolution. I think that's great. I like to see the seniors get another shot at that. But nobody has to worry about where Del Rico's going to be on this. I'm going to continue to support the seniors. And again, if I had to choose between the plan that the city has for Hasselbrink and what the seniors desire, I'm standing 10 toes down with the seniors.
Well, you were a councilman before, so you know that everything goes down to a budget. We don't have it in our budget to even support this senior center. We got out of emergency management. Flint got out of it. We haven't approved the budget to support Hasselbrink. Will there be a disruption in food? Sitting in your chambers over there when I was there, I'm listening to them state that Hasselbrink is the #1 facility that feeds seniors in our community. They feed more seniors in Genesee County than any other center. They currently feed 600, and I believe it may be estimated to go up to 900 per month. I will say this, Sean Shoemaker did speak about that, and he spoke up. Now, him being a conservative man, he didn't, his and almost religious views, those are his, he's entitled to those.
Yeah.
But he did speak up about the food. And
hey,
so
I'm gonna give you an update too, because I think that was the meeting you were in, and it was good to see you come in, and it's always good to see you. That was the meeting where GCAR came up and said that they were short some money. I think the feds may have cut some money or something.
Yeah.
That
going to cut the days from 5 to 3
days, and because they had lost the funding, and you had hundreds or thousands of seniors that weren't going to receive food because of that. And in that meeting, as chair of our board, I said, wait a minute, because like you, I believe I have a working meeting. I said, wait a minute, you said how many people not going to eat? Okay, so this is what we going to do. Let's schedule a meeting today, or it could be first thing in the morning. Let's go find this money from another budget, and let's fund these resources. And the update for you is we actually did meet the next day. We did pull the money and allocate the money so that the seniors who would have gone without food 2 days a week will not. That food service, so will continue 5 days a week and not 3.
Well, look, thank you for that, because that is something that's important. We know that that's the only socialization, maybe some of the only activity that they get, and then getting a hot meal is important.
Yeah.
And I think that when we talk about, and I do watch you guys, even when it's, a videotape, because sometimes I believe your meetings, I think are the same day as it's some meetings that we have.
But and I need to, maybe come over more, because we're generally done with our meeting. And like the other day we had a meeting, it was 2 hours, and a couple of my colleagues were saying this meeting was long. We need to get back. So generally our meetings are like an hour and a half.
They used to be 45 minutes, but you sparking debate over there.
hey, because they said I'm talking too much. It was seriously, people, and this is why I want people, don't just go beat up the city council and go to the council meeting. I want the public to come to our meetings as well.
When are your meetings? What day are your meetings?
So they're every Wednesday at 5:30. So we, like you all, alternating committee 1 week, and then we have the full meeting the other week. But
what are your days you meet on?
Wednesdays. We meet on.
This is because you're asking I want the public to go.
Yeah. Every Wednesday at 5:30, you can come see us at Genesee County Administration Building.
It's across from the City Hall.
Across from City Hall.
Third floor.
Third floor. Thank you.
I'm trying to get them there.
Collaboration looks like.
All right, trying to get them there. So you can go across every Wednesday. They meet at 5:30, third floor, city in the county building. You can park on the ramp or you can park on the street. You don't have to pay for parking at the time that the meeting. So the little gate is it's free. You still will have to pull the little tab out, but you don't. When you leave, the gate is up. So
come to the meetings more than I see you at the meeting. You sound like you know what time it is.
Listen, I do. Listen, your girl be paying attention. I'm concerned about my community. I have more years behind me than I do ahead. Okay, I'm 56. You 39. So I got a few more life lessons than you. My daughter is 35. Okay.
See, look at you. See, I'm old enough to be your child.
If I was a teen mom, absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I really appreciate being able to.
Yeah. So and here's the thing, because I don't want people. It is not easy coming on when you're seeing things and you have butted in and went on to comment on people and social media to have your view, almost to check some people. So you saw your name was on there. You went to engage. I have an open invitation from our political leaders, because that's what it is about, dialogue. I appreciate you coming on here. I do know, for me, and I get what you're saying. Sean Shoemake, you are the chair of that board. You have a responsibility to make that board work together cohesively. And each person has to own their own opinions. I appreciate you coming on. But did we ever get to what was the second? We didn't ever get to what was the second resolution about? It froze. Producer Jay, it froze. So, Producer Jay, can you hear me? Okay. Well, listen, I appreciate Commissioner. It froze. He was having some internet problems. Generally, your phones don't even work in the hospital because of all the electronics. So I do want to thank him for spontaneously coming on to give us some views, to share dialogue, because that's what we need. We aren't always going to agree. And I don't mind being in the hot seat. So he wanted to come in and to share his opinions. And we talked about that, and I appreciate him for his time and prayers for his family member who is receiving heart surgery. So let's say a prayer for them that they may recover and come out of surgery successfully and have a speedy recovery. So listen, I think they somebody booted out the one person. Jim, this is my show. If you don't like it, I'm not for everybody. Bye. That's just how I feel. Every discussion does not have to be, I'm not going to pretend like everything is perfect. And I don't mind people. You do not have to disagree with me, but don't disagree disrespectfully. And my views and everybody's views. Simple as that. I don't agree with Shoemaker with his views, but he's entitled to them as a conservative. Respectfully, he doesn't support DEI. He's telling us who he is. Diversity, equity, inclusion. He doesn't support it. He has a right to do that. And it's respectful. He's not the only one. I'm serious. I mean, I know others who do not support it. And so I want to give a shout out to, thank you, Cheryl, our producer Jay, for working behind the scenes. So tip the DJ, producer Jay. I couldn't do this without him. Behind the scenes, he's emailing me, texting me, inboxing, and we had the sidebar. He was able to bring, again, we thank Commissioner Lloyd for coming on to have this dialogue. And producer Jay, if you guys have donate to $ Cash App, $ producer Jay 1987. Can you put the thing up just while I'm talking so it can stay up? You can put it over my what's the face. Tasha is a great guest in conversation. Tanya Burns, thank you. You know, we this is where we have everybody want to do politics behind the door. No, I believe in transparency. Let's talk about it. So look, and yeah, keep that up. So if you can donate to Cash App, $ producer J 1987. Behind the scenes, and leave it up. Producer Jay was working, emailing, inboxing, going on the county website, sending and finding his email and doing all the stuff I could not do, but keeping the show moving.
He's back. I got him back on. He's back on. I just brought him back.
Okay. Can you drop the thing down? Now you all over our face. Oh, look, donate to producer Jay 1987. He done brought him back. Now you in the ride.
My phone died. I'm sorry. My phone died. I would never hang up on you, Councilwoman.
Well, I was thanking you for coming on because it was very spontaneous. And like I say, just like I had Arthur Woodson on, I didn't invite Woodson on. Let me be clear. Producer Jay had him on. He just popped on. But I appreciate you coming on. What do you want to close out with? If you done got in your car, what do you want to close out with?
Yeah, I was like, I don't want the people thinking I hung up on.
No, you froze like this.
No. I just want to say, very graciously, thank you so much for the opportunity to allow me to come on. A lot of people, and you know this because people do you the same, do you a certain way as well. In our community, we have people who are trying to do the right thing. We have people that are not as integral in how they do what they do. And a lot of people say stuff, and fair enough to you. You read an article, it has stuff in it, and you were reporting that it was the news. And so no qualms for me about.
What was the difference? I don't think we talked after we closed. What was the difference between the first and the second one? We got kind of.
Yeah,
what was in the second one?
The second resolution did not have the whereas that spoke to Genesee County's commitment. And so on one hand, I said to myself, now this is in the moment because the resolution literally just came to us right now that none of us knew was coming in that moment, if you will. Okay. So in my mind, while I'm listening to all of the discussions, keep in mind, I've already passed the resolution. I've already voted on the first resolutions about Black history and our commitment to DEI. We had a policies, et cetera, at the county. The second resolution, he pulled it out, and I listened to what he said. And what he said was, I would like to be able to vote for Black History Month, but I have, I'm paraphrasing now, concerns about the way the commission is working in Genesee County. And I feel like we're not doing enough and, et cetera, we're not living up to it. So I want to pull that out so I can be able to support this resolution because his piece was, I don't want to go down as the person who didn't vote for a resolution for Black History Month. So me being chair, working with everybody on my board, although there's disagreement about if folks should have supported it at all. For me, I didn't see it as consequential, to be honest, because we had already passed the first resolution.
We have the policy, we have it in our contracts, we have our DEI commission we created. And before I voted, I committed to a meeting with the leadership of DEI commission to celebrate their work and to brainstorm about how we can continue to work, build on the work, and become even more inclusive as a county. So that's why I didn't have a concern about voting for both resolutions, and I did support both resolutions.
So I do want to say with the country, because we have to be transparent, the current President Trump or President Elon Musk has stated that
my son said dad is the president.
that part. Yeah. And so when we look at that, the getting rid of diversity, equity, inclusion in our federal government. And so people have a right to be concerned. And then when people heard that he reported on that, absolutely he was going to get backlash, because we see that people are getting pink slipped, they're losing their jobs. We look at ICE, we look at the news. And so those are some of the things, and he don't have to change. Those are some of the things that are going to come with people holding you accountable.
Sure.
That's what it is.
Sure. And I did have, I won't go into the detail of my private discussion with Commissioner Shoemaker, but I did, in terms of relationships and stuff like that, like working with all of my colleagues. One of the things that I had relationships to do on my board is to be able to have one-on-one conversations with them in moments like this. And I will say this, I won't give the whole detail, but I did say this to him, that it's important in our passion to express whatever our sentiment is, that we are mindful of the culture and climate that we live in, and how the words that we speak in official capacity or even in private will be judged and how they will be interpreted. And so we have to mean what we say and say what we mean, and be very diligent, very intentional about making sure we say exactly what we mean. And so I did give him that perspective. I won't go into all of the detail.
No, and that was a private conversation, but I'm not giving him the pass. He does not believe in diversity, equity, and inclusion. I've heard him speak, and that is a problem for me. Now, if you want to change it, don't get off the board. Get on it to make it better. Don't get off. Change it. Get on it. How can you make it better? How do you embrace and deal with other people and our differences? So he voted the way he voted. He said what he said. He does not deserve to be getting life threats and that, but he has a right to say he doesn't support diversity, equity, inclusion. He's a conservative man. President Trump doesn't. Sure. And some of your black folks voted.
Now listen, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. You right on the point. A lot of our black folks don't support it. My first meeting on the city council, councilwoman. Okay, you may chuckle on this, but it's actually sad. 22 years old, I ain't messing with nobody. Okay, ain't nobody put me in. They voted for me because they thought I'd be an easy sway. They were wrong. Okay, Sheldon Neely. Mayor Sheldon Neely was on that board. A number of others were on that board, B.B. Noden and so on and so forth. And I was 22 years old. I'm just a baby, if you will. Okay. My first meeting, I think it was like the second comment in public comment, was a pastor from this community that came to the mic and said, "Why in the world would y'all appoint this boy?" How disrespectful. He don't even know where the bathroom is. And let me tell you something. I've been dealing with that kind of foolishness. You said talk straight, and disrespect since I came in politics. What I don't have camps and all these people and all of this, that, and other. And at every turn, even when I went to the UAW, it's been Del Rico. And most of the people that talk don't even know me. Don't know me, haven't had a conversation with me. You haven't heard the utterances of my heart. You haven't been a part of my ministry. Go talk to the people I pastor, or the people at the UAW who I represent, or go talk to, the people that I've helped or loved on and prayed for. Go talk to them. They know me best. And so like you, I don't, and I already know. You asked me about the mayor's race because I know I had mentioned it. I have not decided what I'm going to do, but it's something that I think about. And I think anybody who's concerned about this community, should think about it. And anybody who wants to do it should do it. And my concern for the community is this, because I don't need the money. I make great money. I don't need the title, prestige. I don't need any of that. That's not my motivation. But the thing is, anybody who's interested should be able to run
without us tearing each other up and looking for cheap shots and trying
well,
to tear.
you know that's not going to happen.
But let me tell you this though.
Yeah.
I've been engaged in politics.
May not come from you, but I can tell you one person it's gonna come from.
Oh yeah,
whoever runs.
You already know. And I said it to the mayor as well. It's no, but what you don't see me doing, other than when I commented publicly when there was what happened at City Hall at that time that was reported. It was all on the news. My constituents were like, Del Rico, you need to.
You called me about that, and we had a conversation.
Great conversation.
And I didn't agree with you. I didn't agree. Because my thing was I knew you had problems, and my thing, and this is I'm transparent. You sent the letter. You were concerned. My thing was fix your own backyard first.
Yes,
y'all had some problems over there.
And
so I wish the letter hadn't have been sent out because to me it highlighted we do have some problems. We do, and we had 2 deaths, but to send that letter highlighted us when you got your own problems over there. So I mean, and I'm just being transparent. So.
And I'm glad you said to the public, you and I respectfully, we talked.
Respectfully, yes.
I actually called you concerned about you, and we had a discussion. And the thing is, other than that, in the Hasselbring issue, because it's in my district, I have not for 2+ years spoke on anything publicly that's happened at City Hall. That's to be noted. So it's not a situation where, hey, there's some history with Del Rico's in our business. The reason why I spoke on that issue, we don't have to go into it or what have you, but it's because, and I said this to my board the other day, a lot of times our residents loop us all in the same bucket because we're all elected officials. And the majority of my district is the city of Flint. So the city of Flint's constituents, City Hall's in my district. The majority of the constituents in the city are also my constituents. And so when the media has it in the paper, all over the news, there's violence, there's incivility, and folks are calling, then I have to make a decision with my voice as a co-elected like you all, if it's something that my conviction says that I should speak up on, so residents know where I am on this, because they're blaming all of us. And in that instance, my only intention was to say, as leaders, all of us, and I'm sure you agree, we have a responsibility. Take on the good fight. In the Bible, talk about good fight of faith. And all of this is a good fight of faith and justice and equality and so on and so forth. But when we disagree, and this is for us, this is for every municipality in the county now, we can disagree without being disagreeable.
Absolutely.
We disagree without getting personal or becoming uncivil or unprofessional. And that's the only thing that I advocate for. And like you said, fix our own house. That's one of the reasons why I was elected as chair of the County Board of Commission, to make sure that we set a better example of that for ourselves first, but the entire Genesee County.
Well, I appreciate you. Thank you for serving. Thank you for spontaneously coming on with your request. Like if you in the comments, that means you want to talk. So I appreciate the dialogue, and I appreciate everyone who was here, who was respectful. And I don't know if we had any, I didn't see the questions, but I appreciate you coming on. And again, when you had disconnected, for those that had requests for a prayer request for your relative who was sick, that may they come through surgery successfully, and that may they have a speedy recovery. So I'm gonna let you get up. You didn't have to put your little hat on, then turn the little flint around. I see you turn the flint around.
I go right to Atherton and Van Slyke at the gas station that's around from where my condo used to be, and I go in there and they'll tell you I buy 8 to 12 to 6. Well, I never bought 16, but 12 hats at a time, and this is what I wear. And when it stretches out, I look in my glove box
and grab another one.
And grab a brand new one.
So you're shopping at the gas station.
Hey, Tanya. The only thing they missing is some fried chicken up in there.
Listen, the Sunoco got that. So I got the Ballinger and the 6-4. We got chicken. Yeah. We got food. We got. Listen, and you can get a hat. I have bought those hats too.
If I can get chicken from them, hot water cornbread from you,
Well, I can make hot water, and I fry chicken too.
I saw your post. Okay, fried chicken, the hot water cornbread. I buy it, and then we really can sit down and talk about how we can continue to make this community better.
And those type of meetings we should. I believe, and I have done it before. Getting, and I'm not going to say adversary, people with differences, bringing them to the table. And I'm not a foodie, but when we serve and sit at the table, it's a different type of conversation.
Yeah.
And it has to be of serious and sound mind, people who really do care about this community. And so I literally Super Bowl, I only stopped to watch, and then the last quarter. I was calling the city clerk. Davina probably got tired because your girl was working. I had some stuff I had to work on, and calling her and texting because I had stuff that I had to do. But I was frying chicken, literally. I fried chicken and made string beans with smoked turkey meat. And what else did I have? I was cooking during Super Bowl, and I like cooking. It's
Now,
the one thing that I love cooking.
No, you don't do this. You know what I'm saying? As my aunt say, the young girl, they fry chicken in the air fryer. We want some chicken in that big old grease, and I don't mind if you use the grease, a couple times.
Right, because it gets seasoned.
Yeah. But you know what? I want to say to folks, because folks are asking me from time to time, they'll say, well, what's your relationship with Tanya Burns? Let me be clear for the public. This dialogue that you're hearing us have today is probably the second, maybe even third time in life that we've ever had a conversation. We don't have negative history with one another and that kind of thing. When I say, that I have respect for, I actually mean that. And the dialogue, the exchange is pure, to my knowledge, without, any other history. So I just want to be clear for people that ask that, Councilwoman Burns, I was rooting for her when she was running and that kind of stuff, but we don't have, political history or beef exchanges. This is really our second detailed conversation. The first was about the email and me calling to reach out to check on Councilwoman Burns. So
we agreed to disagree civilly with certain things. I mean, and that is, but look, I like the fact you shop at the gas station. Because listen, I have got, I can't get in the closet, I don't know how many gas station hats. And so I'm gonna put myself, so they had it was raining one day. They talk about my little black patent leather flats because I just started back wearing heels. I literally slipped on the bathroom floor a little over a year ago, and your girls just couldn't, so I'm back now to wearing heels because I don't I'm short. I'm height challenged. And you get tired of looking up at like everybody like that. But they had a little patent leather baseball cap. I'm like, they know I like me some patent leather. And I bought the patent leather baseball hat at the gas station, y'all.
Yeah. See, you're a lot more stylish than me. You see what I'm saying? You're a lot more.
Please.
I go in there and I used to buy blue and brown, but let me tell you what's been happening lately.
I got those Flint hats too.
It's become a thing. Like we'll have a funeral at the church. We had one recently. So much death that's happening. Prayers for people who have lost loved ones. It's happening too frequent now. But we were headed to the cemetery. I was getting ready to do the committal, and one of the deacons who was carrying, the departed, has a bald head, and it was raining, it was cold, and he just freezing. And I'm like, hey Doc, where your hat? Hey man, I ain't bring no hat. I said, man, I got a hat for you. He like, no, I'm good. I turned around while they was setting the body up, God rest his soul, came in my stash in my truck and got him a Flint hat. And I tell you, that deacon, we ain't gonna have no more problems in life. No, I'm just kidding. But I think a friend.
You riding around with hats with tags.
Hey, listen. People think because I just got back in politics that I'm new to this. I'm true to this. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate you coming on. My producer Jay, thank you for getting Commissioner Lloyd on here. And that we having this, you have to be comfortable. We did not plan this, not at all. No. There's always an open invitation. So he wanted to challenge the two articles. We came on. You can go and look on Ron Funger's site to read them, or reach out to Commissioner Lloyd. He has meetings every Wednesday, 5:30, across from City Hall at the county building. Take the elevator, third floor up, and to your left when you get off the elevator, it's their chambers. So I like to make sure we extend that. If people want to change government, You got to get involved. You have to get involved or get left behind. Commissioner Lloyd, prayers to you, and thank you for coming on.
Much respect, Councilwoman. Have a good one.
You too. Producer Jay, I want to send a shout out to you because you have did this thing today. I couldn't do this show without Producer Jay. Y'all don't see how much he moves behind the scene. And so Christine Lee said, can 7 people hit the like button? Look, whether you like us or not, if you're watching, it don't show that you hit the like button. Hit that like button. Hit that. Look, I'm at where them fans at? Listen, I'm gonna learn how to do that also. Listen, seriously, hit that like button. Christine Lee said, can you hit the like button? Can 7 people? 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Listen, where them fans at? Listen, I'm gonna look for me some different color fans. I just like the sound of that, y'all. Listen, sometimes you have to make light because everything there's some serious things. We got serious issues in our community. I appreciate Commissioner Lloyd coming on. He had a very true conversation and honest, and everyone, heard it. It takes a lot to come on spontaneously to do it. But my producer is Awesome Sauce. He's that guy. He did the thing. I appreciate him making sure that the show went. We didn't plan for this. We did not. And to each and every, and to my mom, Sheena Beckton, Patrick Jean, I appreciate each and every one of y'all. And look, tip the producer. So, Auntie M, are you taking that fan to the next meeting? Look, I got a bunch of these little church fans because listen, in church, they got them funeral fans. I just don't be trying to have, when it get a little hot, you had that church flame with the funeral home on it. So I got a bunch of church. Where them fans at? Listen, I wanted us to have some fun. It is cold here, so wherever y'all at, if y'all in warm weather, appreciate it because it's cold. Woke up this morning, there was some more snow down on the ground. And so it is cold, it is snowy, and we're supposed to get some more. And I want to say that JWC, the senior councilman, Jerry Winfrey Carter, thank you for coming on. Thank you for supporting me in this podcast. It's time for you to come on again, JWC. It's time for you to come on again. Patrick, come down south to a horse trail ride and bring that fan. Listen, Patrick Jean, your girl rides horses, okay? Whole life, okay? Ride horses, family on horses, okay? I didn't like being on the farm slopping pigs. So I'm just gonna tell y'all that. Didn't like that part. But listen, thank y'all for each and every one of y'all for hitting that like button. Hit the like button. Producer Jay, can you come in? Are we going off? I know we didn't plan for Commissioner Lloyd to come on. We did not.
Yeah, we gotta shut it down.
Okay. All right. Listen, Producer Jay, thank you for all you did to make that happen behind the scenes. You going on the county website, you getting Commissioner Lloyd's email, you emailing, texting, or inboxing. Thank you. So you that guy, so I said, give it up to the producer Jay. Yeah. Look, where them fans, look, I'm messing up your man. Where them fans at? Listen, Producer Jay, you did this today. This was not planned. I live right next to a great church. Sheena B, you do. Listen, I ride. Now, getting back up on that horse, your girl can already start back doing yoga because I'm not as limber and flexible as I, and yoga ain't easy. So Merck 76 says, great show as usual. Thank you, Merck. Christine Lee, Sheena B, everybody, Stephanie Rogers, Auntie M, Jasmine M, Mark Hutchison. Mark Hutchison had a lot to say too today. And he don't always agree with me either. He don't. So listen, click like and share. Look, follow us on Facebook. Marilyn, if I did not say your name, charge it to my mind and not my heart, because I can't keep up with all of that. Cheryl Hart. Marcus, you had Tasha Lynn. Appreciate you. So listen, I can't keep it all. So thank you for your time. wherever you are from. I'm hungry. My stomach is growling. Arthur Woodson would be talking about my stomach. And then Jonathan, that's the first time I really heard Councilman Jonathan Jarrett crack up. He cracked up when we were in court because my stomach was growling. So your girl ain't ate nothing. I ain't had nothing but some coffee, and it's gone, y'all. So listen, peace and blessings to every and each and one of y'all. Thank you for spending your time with me and for being and having respectful dialogue with the commissioner. Y'all are the ones who rock. It is for the listeners and the viewers who listen. This could not be done without you. The support, I appreciate it, and I love you for that, because this is how we move things, that we can have conversations, held two elected officials accountable today. 2 of them, not 1, but 2. And he came on, and y'all know y'all can put him in the hot seat. This is how we do it respectfully. Thank y'all. I appreciate each and every one of y'all for coming in and sharing that time. Jerry, do you need some crackers? You listen, y'all. She's talking about when my son was grown. She's like, "Do you need some? I got some crackers. You need some crackers." She was like, "Girl, I heard your stomach." Girl, yeah, I need a meal. That's what I need now. So listen, thank you to each and every one of you, and even to my haters if you don't like it. Listen, thank you, as Carol McIntyre says, thank you to the dedicated haters, because at least y'all tuned in. I would not tune in and give somebody I don't like and even comment. You get none of my time when I don't like you. So that's just what I'm saying. So thank you to all of y'all who support us this morning through this afternoon. We appreciate. Sheena says ushers meeting backstage directly after the meeting. Listen, I know it's going to be a meeting in the back room. Thank you, Producer Jay. I'm serious. I love you, bruh. I love you. Thank you. And thanks to everyone. Let's play the music, y'all. We out. Enjoy the rest of y'all weekend and stay safe and stay warm. Mwah.
It's the Tanya Burns Show. Tune in right now. Like and share. Our city needs that vow. Flint City News got truth to share. When we fight the darkness, we repair. Won't give up. We're standing tall and proud. Voices rising strong, no longer shrouded. Residents deserve what's right and fair. Together we can lift the despair. We fight, we win, we break the chains. Tanya Burns won't stand out in the rain. Our city dreams will make them true. With every step